Boston Red Sox baseball has been brought to you by Aflac. Aflac, ask about it at work.
From Fenway Park, Nesson presents Boston Red Sox baseball. Tonight, the San Diego Padres visit Fenway Park for the first time ever as they begin a 3-game series with the Red Sox. Hi, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. The Red Sox returning home, and they welcome the Padres for the first time. And interleague play that has not been kind to the Red Sox over the last few years. 56-65 all time for the Red Sox in interleague play. They do, however, play .500 baseball at home against interleague foes. And in 2003, a pretty good season for the Red Sox in their interleague slate, going 11-7, 6-3 here at Fenway. Last time the Red Sox saw the NL West was 2002. Visits to San Diego and to Los Angeles. The Red Sox were 4-8 that year and 2-1 in San Diego against the Padres. As we welcome in Jerry Remy. Jerry, tonight we'll see Pedro Martinez.
Well, you mentioned the Red Sox have not had great success in interleague play, and neither has Pedro Martinez since he's been a member of the Boston Red Sox. His record stands at 5-5 in 15 starts against the National League, ERA of 3.74, which is certainly respectable, but 16 home runs allowed for Pedro, and the home runs have been a bit of a problem for him this year. Now, he did face the Padres a couple of years ago in San Diego, and in that game, you'll notice he had 11 strikeouts. Well, that might be tough because right now, San Diego is the toughest team in the National League to strike out. Of course, the big concern down during the week was the cast that Pedro was wearing on his wrist. I don't think that's going to be an issue tonight with him at all.
He'll go up against David Wells on a beautiful summer night from Fenway Park. Pedro Martinez.
The all-new Dodge Durango's making it to the top of a lot of lists. It came in first in a car and driver full-size SUV comparison test. It received 5 stars, the highest government frontal crash test rating. And since it's roomier and more powerful than Explorer or Trailblazer, lots of American families are making Durango their first choice. See your Dodge dealer and put the all-new Durango at the top of your list, too. Qualified buyers who finance through Chrysler Financial get an additional $1,000 for a total combined cash allowance of $4,500 on Durango.
Trouble sleeping, nagging backache, just can't get comfortable in that flat bed? Too bad adjustable beds cost thousands. But wait, now you can make any mattress adjustable without spending thousands with the amazing Mattress Genie. Here's how it works. Just unfold the inflatable air wedge, then simply place it under the head of your mattress. And with the remote control, you simply raise or lower the wedge to where you're most comfortable. Choose low elevation for heartburn or acid reflux, medium for sinus, colds, or snoring, high to read or watch TV. Support your head, neck, shoulders, and back with just the touch of a button. Or press the flat button and it automatically lowers so you don't even know it's there. You don't even need a headboard, footboard, or box spring. Your mattress always stays put. We took the cover off this coil spring mattress to clearly show you how Mattress Genie gently flexes the inner springs as it lifts. Mattress Genie works on all types of mattresses. We converted every brand new mattress in this showroom into an adjustable bed in just a few minutes. You could spend $4,000 for an adjustable bed like this, but you won't spend even $500 for the Mattress Genie. Not $400, not even $200. That's right, you can now own an adjustable bed for just 4 payments of $29.95. An incredible price. But wait, for a limited time, we'll make 1 payment for you. So you'll receive the Mattress Genie for just 3 payments of $29.95. And listen to this. If you call within the next 10 minutes, we'll include a free offer for this spectacular 3-zone full bed massage system worth $200. Soothe achy muscles, relax, relieve stress, even massage yourself to sleep. Select any of the zones you want. Shoulders, head and back, middle and upper legs, or feet and calves. This massage system is worth over $200, but it's yours free just for calling now. So you get a Mattress Genie adjustable bed and the complete massage system, altogether worth well over a $500 value, but they're both yours for just 3 payments of $29.95.
Call 1-800-520-6444 to order your Mattress Genie today. That's 1-800-520-6444.
You know, being the play-by-play guy for the Red Sox, it's really been a lifelong dream of mine.
Thank you very much, David Ortiz.
You know, being a broadcaster on Nesson, you're so close to the action.
Hey, Wink. Hey, Donnie.
I mean, the guys, they really make you feel like you're part of the team.
Never mind, let's go.
Doing play-by-play is not as easy as it looks.
Work it out. Let's go, Orsillo. Double time. Come on. You're better than that.
I mean, you really have to stay focused out there.
bouncer, boy. Get up.
Red Sox baseball in Nesson is brought to you by your New England Jeep dealers, by LoJack, by your New England Ford dealers, by Foxwoods Resort and Casino, by Subaru, and by Southwest Airlines. Welcome back to Fenway Park, everybody, on a beautiful night for baseball. The Red Sox returning home to some warm conditions here tonight against the San Diego Padres, and the beginning of their interleague schedule. The Red Sox coming into the game tonight, winners of their last two, taking the last two games against the Kansas City Royals before enjoying the off day yesterday. And now they begin a homestand here tonight against the Padres as Manny Ramirez and the Red Sox take the field tonight, led by their starting pitcher, Pedro Martinez. Take a look at the San Diego starting lineup, brought to you by Rico. Sean Burrows at third base, Mark Loretta at second base, Brian Giles in right, Bill Nevin at first base, the former Met Jay Payton in center field, Terrence Long, the designated hitter, Ramon Hernandez does the catching, Terry Robinson in left field, and Camille Green, the shortstop, batting ninth for San Diego as they face Pedro Martinez.
Pedro Martinez 5-3 on the season, the 4.40 ERA, and surely that last game against Anaheim, one he'd like to forget quickly. In 5 innings, he gave up 11 hits and 7 earned runs. That's the night that Vlad Guerrero knocked in 9 runs for the Angels. In his career against San Diego, 7-2, and the last time he faced him was out at Qualcomm Stadium, the old San Diego ballpark, and he gave up just 2 hits and 1 walk while striking out 11 in that ball game against the Padres. That was a couple of years ago. Red Sox defense is brought to you by Lexus, and tonight it'll be Kevin Youkilis at third base, Pokey Reese the shortstop, Mark Bellhorn at second, and Kevin Millar at first. Left to right, Manny Ramirez, Johnny Damon, and Gabe Kapler, and Jason Veritek doing the catching. The Red Sox 11th in the American League, 45 errors in their 56 games.
And the umpiring crew has Jim Reynolds in behind the plate, Mike Victor at first base, Andy Fletcher, the umpire, at second, and Tim Welke at third base. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Pedro Martinez ready for his 13th outing of the season. And earlier in the year, Pedro talked a little bit about the elements and the problems that he had. There's certainly no element problem here tonight. Very warm conditions at Fenway Park, perhaps the warmest night we have had this season for a home game. And the Red Sox welcoming the National League West and the San Diego Padres. As the Padres' third baseman, Sean Burrows, stands in on the left side, hitting at .329 with a home run and 20 runs batted in. Out after the first pitch, Millar ranging will lead Martinez, and Pedro covers for out number 1. Tonight's game is available in high definition on Adelphia Digital Cable Channel 773. So 1 pitch and 1 out for Pedro Martinez tonight. It brings up Mark Loretta, the second baseman, at .306. 5 home runs and 25 runs batted in. Leads all National League second baseman in hits with 68. And back on May 5th, getting to a milestone, his 1,000th career Major League hit. Did that on May 5th at Atlanta against the Braves. On the corner, Pedro's out ahead, 1-2.
Some of these names we see on this San Diego club, it's been a long time since we've seen a Mark Loretta. I remember his time in Milwaukee, when Milwaukee was still an American League team.
On the ground, a fair ball. Wrapped off the short fencing and into left field. Ramirez chasing it down. He'll hold Loretta to the long single with 1 down here in the first inning.
First time that Mark Loretta has ever faced Pedro Martinez, and picks up that base hit right over the third base bag. And very typical of a ball that goes over the bag here at Fenway. It bounces off the stands, and it's going to hold Loretta to the single. Manny Ramirez chasing it down in left field. Loretta was about, I'd say, almost halfway to second base and had to get back.
1-1 on for Brian Giles. Right fielder checking in at 282, 9 homers and 35 runs batted in. Leads the team in home runs with 9 so far this season.
Sean, we mentioned that the Padres are last in the National League in home runs, but they also play in a very big ballpark. Their new stadium is huge, and they've only hit a total of 11 home runs in their new park, 23 of them on the road.
Fortunately, we won't get to see Petco Park this season as the Padres come here. We do get to see Pac Bell, which should be next weekend. Also our first visit to Colorado. The owner of the San Diego Padres here for the trip.
Well, it's quite a connection here. Many of the Red Sox front office personnel, of course, coming to Boston from San Diego.
A 1-2. Backs him out of the way. Well, of course, the San Diego connection. Larry Lucchino threw out the first pitch ever at Petco Park this season. Very big reason that they were able to open that brand new ballpark at San Diego. The fine work by Larry Lucchino. Two to Giles. In there for strike 3. First strikeout of the night for Pedro Martinez.
Well, good snap to that curveball from Pedro. Remember, the curveball in his last outing had some problems with it, especially against Vladimir Guerrero. That time a good breaking ball kind of froze Giles at home plate. Plenty of the plate and certainly looked high enough.
So 2 down. Mark Loretta is still at first base, and here's Phil Nevin. Nevin has driven in 17 runs in the last 18 games. They're batting from the cleanup spot for the Padres. Never had a hit against Martinez. In fact, at 3 at-bats, he struck out all 3 times. Riding a 4-game hitting streak coming into tonight's action.
Nevin's been hot as far as driving in runs. 17 runs in his last 18 games. He's working on a 4-game hitting streak. Another good curveball. That's on.
1-2 now to Nevin.
Much sharper with the breaking ball early in the game tonight than last time out against Anaheim.
Nevin has spent time in the American League with both the Tigers and the Anaheim Angels. His 6th season now as a member of the San Diego Padres. Pedro's 1-2. Got him. Looking to end the inning. Martinez with back-to-back strikeouts. The Padres are gone. Red Sox coming up from Fenway.
Where can a Mercury Mountaineer take you? The sky's the limit. Announcing the Lincoln Mercury SUV Drive-Away. Get Mercury Mountaineer for a limited time with no charge power moonroof, no charge leather seating, and room for up to 7. Now drive Mercury Mountaineer for $279 a month with 2078 cash due at signing. The SUV Drive-Away. Only at your New England Lincoln Mercury dealer.
The wonder of it all. Take a chance, make it happen. Hop the course. businesses are good at focusing on what they're great at doing. Now there's high-speed internet that's just as focused. SBC Yahoo DSL Business Edition. Tools that match the way you work, content that's focused on what you do. Just $29.95 a month for a year. Seeing small business differently. SBC.
Back at Fenway Park as we get ready for the last half of the first inning. And the bandage that you see on the back of Wells' hand has become an issue here. Terry Francona was out to call Jim Reynolds to check on it, and the other umpires coming in as well. Of course, so Wells just coming back from a DL situation, and that is a bandage, and I guess they're probably not going to let him wear that as it is right now.
No, Francona came out right away as soon as he saw Wells warming up and pointed it out to the umpires. It looks like they're going to have that removed from his glove hand. That's, of course, where his injury that put him on the disabled list. He had some lacerations on his right wrists. And, of course, that's why the bandage is on there, but that's going to have to be cut off right now by the San Diego trainer.
This will be the 50th career appearance for David Wells against the Red Sox. He has certainly faced the Red Sox many times, and now they'll take care of that bandage, which is now gone, and he'll continue his warm-up tosses here as we get ready for the last half of the first inning. We take a look at the Red Sox lineup brought to you by Dodge. Johnny Damon leads it off in center field. Mark Bellhorn at second base. David Ortiz, the DH. Manny Ramirez in left field. Jason Varitek doing the catching with Kevin Millar at first base. Kevin Youkilis at third base. Gabe Kapler in right. And Pokey Reese, the shortstop, bats ninth as the Red Sox face David Wells.
David Wells on the season 2-4. That's in 8 starts. As we mentioned, just got off the disabled list. Had that accident in his home where he received some cuts both on his left wrist and his right wrist, and I believe his left hand. Incredible amount of appearances, Don, as you mentioned, against the Red Sox. 14-20 in his career against Boston. And there you see the numbers right here at Fenway Park.
This has not been a place that he has enjoyed despite the 500 record. Fairly outspoken about pitching at Fenway Park despite some success lately in a Yankees uniform, but here with the Padres now. 9th appearance of the season for Wells. Damon trying to bunt his way on, pops it up to Phil Nevin for out number 1.
San Diego defense is brought to you by New England Toyota dealers, and they are 13th in the National League, 40 errors in their 56 games. Sean Burrows at third base, Khalil Green the shortstop, Mark Loretta at second, and Bill Nevin at first. Left to right, Kerry Robinson, Jay Payton with 5 assists, and Brian Giles in right field. He has 4 assists. Ramon Hernandez used to catch for the Oakland Athletics behind the plate.
One down for Mark Bellhorn. I think the start at second base tonight for the Red Sox had a little bit of the flu over the weekend and did not appear in the final game of that series in Kansas City, but back in there tonight. This is the 8th season of interleague play. And the first ever visit for the San Diego Padres here to Fenway Park. Lined off the glove of Nevin and into right field. Hot shot from Bellhorn has him at first with 1 down.
Now, Bellhorn, who started the season really struggling as a right-handed hitter in particular, has turned it on recently. It's just outside fastball, very hard, right off the glove of Nevin. Nevin had him played perfectly at first base. He was well off that bag, but couldn't control the baseball.
So a base hit for Mark Bellhorn, first hit of the night for the Red Sox. And it brings up David Ortiz. David at 274, 12 homers, and 50 RBIs. David Ortiz tied with Vladimir Guerrero for the lead in RBIs in the American League, both with 50. And of course, last time we saw Pedro Martinez, Vlad Guerrero had a 9 RBI night. Ortiz not fared particularly well against David Wells, but he does have a home run. hit safely in 5 straight games and 13 of his last 15. Fouled off the left side. 2-1 now to Ortiz.
Well, even though many of the San Diego Padres not familiar with the Red Sox, certainly David Wells very familiar with this Red Sox club, with the exception of some of the new faces. Just a year ago, pitching against Boston in the postseason.
Last year, a 15-game winner for the Yankees. 15-7 the year before. 19-7 for New York. 2002. Through the vacated right side into right field. Bellhorn will stop at second. Back-to-back base hits for the Red Sox.
Well, David Wells kept trying to bury that fastball inside on David Ortiz, and Ortiz ready for it. Fastball in, but he topspin the line drive quickly between first and second base. Good charge put on by Giles, and that's going to hold Bellhorn at second.
So 2-on-1 away for Manny Ramirez. 3:46 to begin the night. 15 homers and 40 RBIs. Manny now 5th in the league with a batting average of 346. Ken Harvey of the Royals, who had that nasty collision with Jason Grimsley, leading the league at 375.
David Wells can't believe that pitch was called a ball. There's been a couple here in the first inning that I don't think David's been too pleased about. Starts Manny off with the curveball. Looked like a pretty good pitch. I guess called for being too low.
Inside that time. 2-0 now to Ramirez. Over the last 17 games, Manny with 7 home runs and 16 RBIs. Needs 5 runs scored for 1,000 in his major league career. He always wears out left-handed pitching against lefties this year. 367.
8 starts on the season to David Wells. He's given up 6 home runs in the 50 innings. Once again, very good control. Only 7 walks. Opponents hitting .245 off Wells coming into the game.
Bellhorn at second, Ortiz at first with 1 away here in the last half of the first inning. Well, he fooled on that pitch, and it's 2-2.
Once again, the curveball from David Wells. This time, Manny a bit off balance on that swing.
Don't say Manny off balance too often. Well, surveys the situation. He finds Bellhorn at second, Ortiz at first, with 1 out here in the last half of the first inning. Full count now to Ramirez.
Looking at the outfield for San Diego, they're really pushed around on Ramirez to the opposite field. Kerry Robinson about even in the middle of that scoreboard, and Jay Payton shading Manny slightly toward right field.
The payoff pitch. Ramirez strikes out. Was diving after that pitch, and the first strikeout for David Wells.
David Wells right back to the curveball on the 3-2 count to pick up the strikeout. So Manny swinging and missing at a couple of Wells curveballs in that at bat.
So So 2 down, and it brings up Jason Varitek, batting 5th in the Red Sox order tonight at .294, 8 homers, and 24 runs batted in.
And 4 career home runs against Wells. .302 average, 4 career home runs.
Over the last 14 games, Jason Varitek hitting at .327. And there are the numbers against David Wells. Varitek has hit at .306 against left-handed pitching this season. Thought about it. Did he go? Yes, he did, says Mike Fichter. And it's 0-2 now to Varitek.
From that angle, looks like a good call by the first base umpire.
One and 2 now to Jason Varitek. I imagine preparation when you're only going to face a team one time and a team that you haven't seen in 2 years. I guess you rely a little bit more on the advanced scouting than you might if you face a team as much as the Red Sox do, like say in their own division.
Well, you know, like the other night, for example, coming home from our road trip, Red Sox coaching staff was already preparing on that trip for the San Diego Padres. Combination here of Wells and Hernandez catching. They've got a good idea about these Red Sox hitters. Of course, Hernandez with the Oakland Athletics, Wells with the Yankees.
This will be the 20th pitch of the bottom of the first inning for David Wells. Bellhorn at second, Ortiz at first, 2 down. Varitek punches at it and strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts for David Wells. The Red Sox strand 2. We played one from Fenway. We're scoreless.
Hey, will you watch my salad? Sure. Long chicken. McDonald's?
His presentation to the board was in an hour. And while he managed to keep that dry, well, he wasn't. Which is why he was pleased to discover that our selection of big and tall was not only extensive, but at prices that, well, wouldn't soak him. After all, he had enough of that for one day.
You'll find big and tall sizes at the Men's Warehouse.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Pushing myself to the limit is what this is all about. And I need an antiperspirant that can keep up. All the clear gels that I've tried, they just don't work for me. That's why I use high endurance clear gel. It protects against wetness better than the leading gel. Guaranteed. Try it. If you don't like it, Old Spice will buy you a stick of something else. A clear gel that strong? I'm there. Old Spice high endurance clear gel.
Open till midnight or later.
Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy, along with Eric Freed, back at Fenway Park, top half of the second inning, scoreless at the end of one. Jay Payton to lead it off here for the Padres. Payton, the center fielder, up over 300 at 301. 3 homers and 24 RBIs. From Georgia Tech and the former teammate of Nomar Garciaparras and Jason Varitek. Coming up through the Mets system. Certainly there were some who thought we may see Nomar Garciaparras here tonight.
Nomar again down at Pawtucket playing in that game tonight. And he will be reevaluated, I guess, after that performance down at Pawtucket tonight.
On the ground and foul outside of third base.
I think Eric Freed's going to have a little more on that very shortly.
Pedro Martinez has thrown 18 pitches so far here tonight in the first inning. Had a pair of strikeouts as he struck out the 3 and 4 hitters for the Padres, Giles and Nevin. There's 2-2 to Payton. Slap foul off the right side.
When we first started playing interleague baseball, Jay Payton at that time was a member of the New York Mets. We were playing the National League East those first couple of years.
Played minor league baseball in the state of Massachusetts. Was a member of the Pittsfield Mets. On his way up the Mets chain. Skies it to center field. Johnny Damon racing back to the warning track to make the catch in front of the wall. Had no more room in which to work with as he brings it in.
And that area that Johnny Damon makes the catch, there's no padding out there. That's up against that screen out in center field. Times it perfectly. Takes a look back, see how much room he's got to go, makes the jump, and then right up against that screen fence for the out. Certainly appreciated by Pedro Martinez.
One down. Here's Terrence Long. The Padres, of course, with the opportunity to use the DH here in the American League ballpark, and Long is their DH tonight. Game over with Ramon Hernandez from the Oakland A's in exchange for outfielder Mark Kotze during the offseason. As you see Hernandez waiting on deck, the other part of that trade. Just at .231 against Pedro Martinez. Does have a home run.
And not as much playing time here for Terrence Long as a member of the Padres as when he was with the Oakland Athletics. Long only with 99 at bats so far this season.
Whoops, this one foul just beyond the photographer's well down by the tarp. Tonight's game is available in high definition on Charter Communications Digital Cable Channel 774 in Massachusetts and Connecticut. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Terrence Long gone, third strikeout for Pedro Martinez. Let's check in with Eric Freed. Eric?
Well, Don, as you and Jerry were talking about a moment before, no Nomar Garciaparra here at Fenway Park tonight. Many of the fans and, frankly, many of the media thought he would be here tonight to start this interleague series against San Diego. That was a timetable the Red Sox did not have. Here's General Manager Theo Epstein.
It's a combination of you know, how the heel feels, but that's been feeling great, and then his timing. It takes a lot to be able to play up to one's capabilities in major league games. That's what spring training's for, and he's had a really abbreviated spring training of sorts here, and he knows himself really well. Trust me, he wants to be out there. As soon as he can go, he'll be here.
Well, Nomar in Pawtucket tonight, and Theo Epstein and Terry Francona both saying he could be there tomorrow night as well. They will reevaluate. So far tonight down at McCoy, Nomar 0 for 1, grounded out the third in his first at-bat. Don.
All right, Eric, thank you very much. We'll try to keep you abreast of each at-bat tonight as we get that information. We'll pass it along.
You know, Don, what I learned tonight, when you have the two boxes up there like that, you know, Eric in one and the game in it.
Yes.
They call that the bite box.
Really?
Yep.
Popped up right side. Lar calling, even with the bag at first, makes the catch. Pedro Martinez enjoys a 1-2-3 inning through an inning and a half from Fenway, no score.
What's there to do in Philly? Oh, boy.
Well, I guess they want to come over and see the Liberty Bell.
You got the Liberty Bell.
We have the Liberty Bell.
Pretzels.
The National Constitution Museum.
There's lots of theater, excellent restaurants.
Well, there's a lot of culture here.
It's like a baby New York.
For me, it's
cheesesteak.
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 Now there's another great reason to go to Philly. Fly into Philadelphia International Airport for just $29 on Southwest Airlines.
I love Philadelphia.
You are now free to move about the country.
money on your mind? At Sovereign, we're here with red carpet service. Guaranteed.
It's about sincerity, trust, and understanding. It's about doing the right thing for our customers. It's so simple, yet it says so much. It's who we are, and it's the only way we know how to be. Sakuchi Lincoln Mercury Honda. Our reputation is your protection.
Quality items, great prices, and convenient locations. Extramart has all your bases covered. Stop by for a cup of our very own Brew Boy coffee or a double-sized Deli Joe sandwich. Heading for home or running on empty, Extramart introduces Extra Fuels, our own premium quality gasoline.
Extramart is now your headquarters for Castrol oil products. Castrol oil, winning performance. And check out Nesquik in easy-to-drink bottles for just 99 cents. Nesquik, milk made fun.
Extramart is always a home run.
Last half of the second inning back at Fenway. No score so far. Red Sox will feature 6, 7, and 8 in their order. Millar, Youkilis, and Kapler to face David Wells, who had to throw 20 pitches in the first inning. Despite allowing 2 hits, got out of the inning unscathed thanks to back-to-back strikeouts of Manny Ramirez and Jason Varitek to conclude the first inning. Millar jolts one to center field. Jay Payton over and under to make the catch for out number 1.
Well, the Red Sox Foundation is working with Pedro Martinez, David Ortiz, and Manny Ramirez to assist in the relief effort following the tragic floods in their native Dominican Republic. If you'd like to help, stop by any of the collection areas around Fenway Park during this homestand or send checks payable to the Red Sox Foundation to Fenway Park, Boston, Mass. 02215.
One down for Kevin Youkilis. 281, 2 homers, and 11 runs batted in for Youkilis. Out of the reach of Sean Burrows and into left field. Youkilis aboard with the Red Sox third hit of the night.
Looked like a changeup that time from David Wells, and Youkilis doing a pretty good job staying back. It is the changeup from Wells, and not a bad pitch down and away, but Youkilis with the top spin line drive quickly by Sean Burrows at third base. So now what? Youkilis has been on every game except one.
Correct. Held on by Phil Nevin at first base with one away. And here's Gabe Kapler. Gabe getting the start tonight in right field. And over the last 15 games, a lot of them used as a defensive replacement, but it was just 3 for 19. His last start was on Saturday in Kansas City, and it was a pretty good showing for Gabe. 2 for 4 with a triple. And just his 5th start since May the 12th. And a career 280 hitter against David Wells. Kapler against left-handers this season so far hitting at 300, while against right-handers hitting at 197. And Kapler backing out, so Youkilis back to the bag at first. Outside, a third and foul, still 1-2 to Kapler. An interesting color combination here for the Padres. I have not seen this uniform before.
Yeah, they have a couple of different styles. This they're almost like, I would call it practice jersey because they're using it in the game, but where they have the dark tops, similar with the Red Sox wear their red tops. Different look than the last time we saw him, though.
Well, Jerry, last year you and I had the chance to do the game from the monster seats. After Excursion and company out there in left field in the monster seats tonight, the Padres doing their first ever game here at Fenway Park on TV from the monster seats. They've done a couple of games from the bleachers of their new setup at Petco Park. To right in there for a hit. Euclid up to second base on the single for Gabe Kapler. The Red Sox have 2 hits in the inning.
Now 2 hits in the first inning for the Red Sox, 2 hits here in the second inning for the Red Sox. Now there's going to be some kind of pitch count, I would imagine, tonight on David Wells. He's already made 29 pitches in this game. I know the last time he threw off the mound, he threw 45 pitches prior to the start tonight. Kapler taking that fastball to the opposite field for the base hit.
So 2 on 1 away, Pokey Reese. In there for a strike. Reese at 253, 2 homers and 21 runs driven in. Ryan Powell back into the seats.
Now, much of the attention today on whether Nomar would be in the lineup tonight for the Boston Red Sox. He is not. Of course, he's down in Pawtucket. And I guess when Pokey woke up this morning, he said, well, I wondered tonight if I'm going to be at shortstop or if I'm going to be at second base. Maybe a couple of guys, he and Bellhorn, not sure of what was going to happen.
I imagine he probably figured, like a lot of people did, after the Kansas City series, that when he returned home, he'd be back at second base. There is a scoring position at 279, but 3 for his last 3. He was 3 for 10 in the series against the Royals over the weekend, including a triple. To right field, Giles moving over on the run, makes the running catch and bangs into the wall. As the runners back to their bases, Euclid to second, Kapler to first. A good running grab from Brian Giles.
Yeah, that's a terrific play by Giles out in right field. Now remember, this ball coming off the bat of a right-handed hitter is slicing away from Giles. Has to go to the backhand and then brace himself before he hits that wall. Euclid's playing it properly, halfway with the 1 out in the inning. Remember, if that catch is made, you're always in scoring position at second base, so that is the correct way to make that play.
Damon, go ahead.
No, I just got to say, with nobody out, you want to be back tagging up, because if he makes that catch in right field, you want to make sure you can get to third base with less than 2 outs. 1 out, you play it halfway.
Damon popped out to first base, his first time up. Slaps it foul off the left side. It's 0-2 to Johnny Damon. He's done pretty well in this situation on the season. Euclid at second, Kapler at first, 2 down. Same situation the Red Sox had last inning. Wells struck out Ramirez and Veritek. He's got some help from Brian Giles in right on a nice running catch. Damon's 2 out RBIs, third on the Red Sox behind Manny Ramirez's 16. And team leading David Ortiz with 25 RBIs with 2 outs. On the ground towards Loretta. And again, David Wells, despite giving up 2 hits, gets out of the inning unscathed. Through 2 from Fenway, no score.
I know it's summer when my dad's legs are white. Mom talks about waxing. I get buzz cut. I pick Mommy flowers. Buy bud sticks to the feet. I water the lawn and my little sister.
It's the the surest sign of summer. Friendly's ice cream window is now open, ready to serve up all your favorite ice cream treats. Stop by today for our new Nuts Over Caramel ice cream. Delicious on cones and in sundaes, or get it to go in hand-packed pints. It's pure summertime at Friendly's.
Introducing the Nissan Quest, a revolutionary minivan featuring 5 Skyview windows, front and side impact 5-star safety rating, an innovative center console, automated side and rear lift doors, and fold-away second and third row seats. Moms have changed. Shouldn't the minivan?
It's here. A complete line of over 30 power tools from Rigid that'll seriously outperform what you're using now. With exact line laser precision, batteries that charge in half the time, more torque, and the best warranty in the business. But the attachment that says the most about these tools, the pros who swear by them. Rigid, powerful, durable, professional. Buy them now at the Home Depot.
Well, hello. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Back at Fenway Park, and on the very first pitch thrown by Pedro Martinez, hit with the pitch is Kerry Robinson.
Kerry Robinson facing Pedro for the first time ever, and first pitch looks like it got him off that left leg. So Kerry Robinson, who has pretty good speed, 6 steals on the season, down at first base. Davey Lopes, the first base coach.
The second base runner of the night for the Padres. The first was Mark Loretta, who singled in the first inning. Now Kerry Robinson hit by a pitch. Here's Khalil Green. The San Diego shortstop checks in at 265. 2 homers and 19 runs batted in.
Khalil Green right now on a 5-game hitting streak for the Padres.
Strike to even it up at 1-1. Pedro Martinez at 33 pitches tonight, 21 for strikes. He has 3 strikeouts on the evening. He's not walked anyone. Given up a hit and has now hit a batter. That batter stands at first base. Robinson here a few years ago, actually I think last year, with the St. Louis Cardinals. When the Cardinals came to Fenway Park as part of interleague play.
San Diego ranks 9th in the league in steals. The St. Louis, the team you're just talking about, they lead the National League in stolen bases. St. Louis with 47 on the season. San Diego with 22.
Another check, this one closer, and he's back diving safely.
Now Pedro's making these pickoff attempts very close at first base. Good lead, good size lead by Robinson, diving to the outfield side of the bag. That's why you do that. Get as far away from that tag as you possibly can.
check on him and is back safely. Take a little time for himself. Well, Bruce Bochy, the manager of the San Diego Padres team in his 22nd consecutive season with the Padres organization. Spending the last 6 seasons at the helm of the Padres, 10th overall Major League season as a manager here with San Diego. Manager of the year back in 1996. Off was Robinson. Green fouls it off the right side.
Well, for every run of the Red Sox catch stealing this season on NESN, you have a chance to win a LoJack stolen vehicle recovery system. Log on to NESN.com, enter the date, opponent, and runner's name for your chance to win in the LoJack caught stealing sweepstakes.
A note on Bruce Bochy. Only 2 active managers have won more games with their current clubs. Atlanta's Bobby Cox and the Yankees' Joe Torre. The winningest manager in Padres history. He brings his club in tie right now in the AL West with the LA Dodgers. On the ground and outside at third and foul. Padres have won 2 in a row coming into tonight's action. They are 16-12 at home, 15-13 away from their new stadium. Again, the 3-2. Robinson leaves, and it's ball 4. So the first walk of the night given up by Pedro, and down to first goes Khalil Green. Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by your New England Dodge dealers, by Miller Beer, and by Nissan. So the first 2 Padres have reached here in the 3rd inning. Terry Robinson hit by a pitch. Khalil Green walks. The 8-9 men are on. There's Sean Burroughs getting out of the way of that pitch.
Something that the Padres don't do very much is sacrifice bunt. The only team that's fewer than them in the National League is Cincinnati. Burroughs himself has 1 sacrifice on the season.
Riding a 16-game hitting streak. As he bunts at it and does so fouled, even the count of 1-1. Robinson at second base, Green at first. Bunt at it again and fouling it off again.
Well, that's a little dangerous there. They had the runners off at first and second, and again popping up the bunt, but fortunately for Burroughs, popping up foul where nobody can make a play on it. Bunch this ball straight up in the air and you get yourself a double play. So a little bunt and run action, which you don't see very often.
Pretty good numbers with 2 strikes. So left field, Ramirez on the move, runs it down. And he fires back into the infield after a good running grab from Manny Ramirez.
Well, we saw Giles make a fine play in right field off the bat of a right-hander. Same thing here for Manny Ramirez. This ball from the left-handed hitter slicing away from Manny, and for a second didn't look like he was going to catch up to it. He does make the backhanded play and quickly gets it back into the infield. So they're not able to get the bunt down. Manning makes a nice play. Runner still at first and second, but now with one out.
One down for Mark Loretta. A single his first time up. The only hit so far tonight off Pedro Martinez is a single to left.
Boy, Pedro's velocity at this stage of the game better than any game he's pitched so far. He's been over 90 miles an hour. The last pitch at 92. Now, we haven't seen that a lot until maybe the 5th or 6th inning if conditions have been good.
It seemed like it was growing his velocity. I mean, last time out against Anaheim.
Yeah.
Around 92 and 93 at times.
92 again. Back-to-back fastballs, 92 miles an hour.
Red Sox pitching coach Dave Wallace appeared to be very inspired by a side session that Pedro had when we were in Kansas City over the weekend. Oddly enough, it was the day that the writers happened to notice that Pedro was wearing the air cast that he walked into the clubhouse with, and that day was a side session. So he's not hampered at all despite wearing that cast. Well, Baratek out to talk to Martinez.
Yeah, that was quite a day in Kansas City because he walks into the clubhouse and he's got it looked like what the base runners wear, you know, to brace their wrists as they slide. And once everybody got a look at that, what's wrong with Pedro? And I think he expected everybody to come over because as soon as they did, there's nothing wrong. I do this all the time. Something similar to what Kerry Robinson's wearing there.
It did cause a bit of a stir.
Well, the writers are only about 4 deep around Pedro.
Loretta coming into tonight with a .306 batting average. And the strikes even it up now at 2-2. Pedro up to 46 pitches through 2 1/3 innings. Kerry Robinson with great speed at second base. Khalil Green at first base. 1 down. And the breaking ball missing inside. A full count now.
Almost got away with a bad breaking ball there. It almost looked like it slipped out of Pedro's hand, but very close to picking up the inside corner. That's not where he wanted that pitch. Baratek wants it away. It stays inside. Didn't miss by much. Runners will probably be off here on the 3-2 count.
They are. Loretta's swinging. He carves it foul off the right side.
Loretta's a guy that doesn't strike out very much. As a matter of fact, only 17 times so far this season. That's why you see those runners going, even against Pedro Martinez.
He started well right out of the gate this season. Had a 9-game hitting streak to begin the season. Tipped into the catcher's mitt. The runners were off, and the runners are out. And third, Robinson gunned down by Jason Baratek. The end of 2.5. We're scoreless from Fenway.
So refreshing. So real. So what are you waiting for?
There's a power so awesome, so irresistible, you'll do anything to get your hands on it. Introducing Gillette M3 Power. Turn on the first micro power shaving system from Gillette and turn on the amazing new Power Glide blades. Micro pulses raise the hair so you shave closer in one power stroke. Feel the power of the world's best shave. New M3 Power, a Mach 3 innovation from Gillette. The best a man can get.
Here's Bernie and Phil's Suede So Soft Microfiber for you. Do you like stylish good looks?
Do you like furniture that's tough and durable?
That resists wear, fading, and is easy to clean.
Wait until you see the price.
suede So Soft sofas start at just $516.
So, is our microfiber for you?
Come in and see for yourself.
Purdy and Bill. Quality, comfort, and price. That's nice.
This is a Chevy Silverado with a Vortec V8. This is a Ford F-150 with its Triton V8. This is the real world. From a dead stop, F-150's Triton V8 creates unsurpassed low-end torque. Any questions? Only one truck has earned the right to be the 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. F-150 with up to $3,000 cash back or 0% financing plus $1,000 upfit reimbursement on the #1 selling truck for 27 years.
Fruit on the bottom, the top, and everywhere in between.
Bottom of the third inning, back at Fenway, David Wells back on the hill. 37 pitches deep into his outing. For the first 2 innings, Mark Bellhorn to lead it off.
Well, they're banking on Loretta to make contact on the 3-2 count, but Pedro throws the fastball by him, and Veritek, Euclid's just waiting for Kerry Robinson to get to third base. That sounded like it hit the 406 club.
Yes, it had that glass sound to it.
Plexiglass. Did you watch the hockey game last night?
I did.
Very good game.
Outstanding. You rooting for Tampa Bay?
You know I was.
Yeah.
Because I like the hotel down there.
It's all about the hotel. Always has been for us as far as Tampa Bay goes. I'm kind of happy for the area. You know, they need a little bit of a boost sports-wise. Of course, the Bucs have done outstanding down there in the NFL.
I'll tell you what else, too. Those guys that do those hockey games, they're terrific.
They are.
Gary Thorne and company, they really do a great job.
In the shallow left center field, Jay Payton ranging in. Makes the catch for out number 1. The league leaders are brought to you by Volvo, the official vehicle of the Boston Red Sox. Multi-hit games, Ichiro on the top of the list in the American League. Red Sox have Manny Ramirez in the top 6. Over in the NL, Sean Casey on top for Cincinnati. A surprising Cincinnati Reds who begin the night atop the National League Central. A game better than the St. Louis Cardinals. League leaders brought to you by Volvo. One away for David Ortiz, who singled to right field in the first inning. Waves at that pitch. 1-1. Nice to have our producer, Russ Ken, back with us tonight. After taking a week off, birth of his new son.
He looked very rested, too. Very well rested.
Down to first, Phil Nevin will take it alone. Retire David Ortiz, 2 down.
Well, tonight's game with the Padres kicks off a series of Red Sox games that will be shown live on the big screen at selected showcase cinemas in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Upcoming games also include June 22nd against Minnesota and Tuesday, July 6th against Oakland. Tickets are $5, each with a portion benefiting the Red Sox Foundation. Log on to redsox.com for more information. Now, if you're watching this game in one of the cinemas tonight, everybody right now stand up. Come on.
You want everybody to stand up?
Everybody stand up in the theater, and I'll tell you when to sit down. Okay, sit down.
Is this kind of like Simon Says, it's Remdog Says?
Yeah.
You can only do it if you say Remdog?
Stand up again for this pitch against Manny. Everybody up. Come on.
These people are going to start to get a little annoyed, I think. On the ground to Loretta.
Sit down.
You better have him sit down here. 1, 2, 3 go the Red Sox in the third. We played 3, no score.
We can't reverse.
Sure, smells like spring, and Downey's Toyota is ready, with more than 300 new Toyotas on the lot. We're Maine's #1 Toyota dealer, and we're ready to put you in a new Toyota. You can't beat that new car smell, but we can beat any advertised deal in Maine. Come take a test drive and get that Toyota feeling. Catch the excitement and the smell of sawdust as our huge showroom expansion continues. Call 1-800-TOYOTAS or visit us across from Super Walmart and Brewer. Downey's Toyota. Check anywhere you wish first, but sniff us out last.
The weather was great when we got there, but the storm rolled in so fast. Whose idea was camping in the first place?
Whatever happens this summer, make the most of it with Adelphia Digital Cable. With all your local channels and cable favorites, multiple premium channels, interactive program guide, and digital music, Adelphia Digital Cable simply has the best in entertainment.
Call 1-888-32-CABLE and get your first month free on select value packs. Adelphia, the place for summer.
Hey, neighbor, need to borrow your rake again.
I've got something even better. 6 cents off every gallon of gasoline.
Really?
When you sign up for Irving Automatic Delivery Home Heat, you can enroll in their Favors for Neighbors program. Save 6 cents at the pump at Irving Mainway convenience stores. Just give them a call, 888-234-1844.
Thanks. That's some favor.
Hey, anything for a neighbor.
Sign up for Favors for Neighbors today. Call 888-234-1844. Irving, making life warmer.
Back at Fenway as we head to the top half of the fourth inning, no score. And it's time now for the Aflac trivia question. Oh, the draft taking place yesterday, first round of it anyway. What Providence, Rhode Island native was the Padres' first overall pick in 1974's June draft?
That's an easy one.
And the answer for you in the next half inning.
I'll give you a hint. Crunch.
Crunch?
Yeah.
I know the answer and I wouldn't have got it.
A candy bar.
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. I have an answer for you in the next half inning. There's a Providence native. Davey Lopes here tonight, first base coach of the San Diego Padres, former Milwaukee Brewers manager. Ryan Giles leading it off. One of the cinemas, I think, is in Rhode Island. Is that? You read the copy, I'm not sure. Do you remember? The cinemas you can see us tonight in Rhode
Island. Throughout Massachusetts and Rhode Island.
Foul down towards the tarp. We should do like a little disclaimer before every game. Wow, that's nice. Outstanding. We should do a little disclaimer, Jerry, right before the first pitch. Make sure the fans get there early so that they're not right in the front row for our open.
Yeah.
Kind of scary right off the game. Ground ball diving at second as Bellhorn up and throwing. Brian Giles out front, number one.
Well, missed some nice defensive plays early in this game. Giles himself in right field, Manny in left, and now Bellhorn with a diving play at second base to take a base hit away from Giles. Going to his left on that outfield grass and still plenty of time to throw him out at first base.
One down for Phil Nevin, who struck out looking back in the first inning. Pedro with 4 strikeouts so far tonight.
See, if you're listening in the cinema tonight, next time Pedro gets 2 strikes on somebody, everybody stand up. Try for the punch out.
To Nevin. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. So under your scenario,
everybody up.
Everybody should be standing.
Every cinema in Massachusetts, Rhode Island that's covering the game tonight, everybody stand up and pull for that punch out. I can hear him clapping now, Don.
The 2-2. strike three. Strikeout number 5 for Pedro Martinez. 2 down.
Well, we mentioned earlier that the last time Pedro faced San Diego 2 years ago had 11 strikeouts. Now remember, this team here is the toughest team in the National League to strike out. Pedro with that fastball down and away from Nevin. Pedro's got good stuff in this game tonight.
The all-time list, 2,507 right now for Pedro, who has 5 strikeouts tonight. Phil Nevin has gone down twice by way of the K. Jay Payton fly to the deepest part of center field his first time up. Johnny Damon back at the wall to make the catch. As they appeal first, and he did not offer, says Mike Victor.
Pedro with the curveball, and Payton just ably would keep check of the head of the bat.
Up the middle, Pokey Reese ranging, throwing, in time to get him at first. Another outstanding play turned in by Pokey Reese. Down go the Padres in order. 3.5 done. No score from Fenway.
Flying to the Washington area for business? If these 23 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines nonstop to Baltimore Washington International, maybe this will. You can fly to BWI for just $49 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
Moms have changed. Shouldn't a minivan? Introducing the Nissan Quest.
How does your car say to let out?
Michael is doing really well. Oh, wow. Oh, look at that.
Dad, can we go to Friendly's now?
Sure, buddy.
Introducing Friendly's new Baja Chicken Sandwich and Baja Colossal Burger. Try one now and get a free sundae.
Dad, I want what you're having.
You and me and Friendly's.
Back at Fenway, scoreless as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. An outstanding play by Pokey Reese, showing that great range from shortstop for the final out of the top of the 4th on to the bottom of the 4th. And Jason Varitek, a strikeout victim, his first time up.
Once again, incredible range shown here by Pokey Reese as he's well behind second base on the outfield grass. The off-balance throw and enough to get on it. Get enough on it, I should say, to get that out at first base. I'll tell you, there's not too many shortstops in the game of baseball that even get to that ground ball.
On the ground to Burrows. 1 down. It's time now for the answer to our Aflac trivia question from an inning ago. What Providence, Rhode Island native was the Padres' first overall pick in the 1974 June draft? Of course, Billy Ullman. Drafted first overall by the Padres out of Brown University. Played shortstop of the Padres from 1974 through 1979 in the majors for the Expos, Mets, White Sox, A's, Pirates, and Phillies. This one popped up short left center. Jay Payton. 2 down.
Do you get it now, Don? Allman Crunch?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Brown University graduate Billy Allman.
Phillies until 1988. Played 1,236 games and a career average of 254. Do you know who the next first-round draft choice out of Rhode Island was? After Billy Allman?
Rocco Baldelli.
Correct. Long time in between.
You think you sit here with some senile old man?
Well, you are getting older.
Is this a test now? I mean,
no. A senior member of the broadcast crew. Did have off-season back surgery and many other ailments.
That's right. Physically, a total mess.
Wasn't sure we're going to see you again in spring training. Euclid pops it up outside of first base. Phil Nevin there to make the catch. And on just 7 pitches, David Wells retires the Red Sox in order through 4. No score from Fenway.
Hey, will you watch my salad? Sure.
Lamb chicken.
McDonald's?
I'm loving it.
I want to eat my salad.
Chevrolet, an American Revolution.
Money on your mind? At Sovereign, we're here with red carpet service. Guaranteed.
Do you remember last year's Samuel Adams announcer for an inning winners, Walter and Todd? Samuel Adams and Nesson are at it again, giving you a chance to call an inning with Jerry Remy. So log on to samadams.com for the tryout locations near you.
This could be a really boring commercial, unless you want a great leather sofa. Check this out. $887. Gloves soft, 8-way hand tied. Not boring. That's why we're number 1.
Warm seasoned beef, cheddar jack cheese, crispy tortilla strips, and Newman's Own all-natural salsa. I'm gonna just not just have a salad. The new premium Fiesta salad from McDonald's.
Back at Fenway as we head now to the top half of the 5th inning. Terrence Long, Ramon Hernandez, and Kerry Robinson featured here in the 5th inning. This will be the 63rd pitch of the night from Pedro. Slap foul off the left side.
Don, we received word between innings that the folks watching in the cinemas were responding to our commands.
Very nice.
We're going to have a little fun with this as the night goes on.
Where do we get confirmation? Was it Randolph?
Somebody called in. Yeah. Randolph, yeah.
Off to the left, foul, and it's 1-2 to Terrence Long, a strikeout victim. His first time up. What else can you have him do? I mean, besides stand up, sit down, what else you got in your repertoire?
I got a couple of things up my sleeve.
Can I have him run outside the theater at all?
No. Okay, if Pedro strikes out Long, I want everybody to stand up and run in place. Ooh, almost.
Foul off the left side, 2-2.
Everybody out of their chairs, and if he strikes him out, just run in place. Everybody.
The 2-2 pitch. Line to right and in for a base hit. And it down towards the corner. Kepler over to dig it out. As Long heads into second base with just the second San Diego hit of the night off Pedro Martinez. A leadoff double for Long. And the pitching line is brought to you by Nissan. Morning's 2 hits, no runs. A walk and 5 strikeouts for Pedro. That was the first hit for San Diego since the first inning. Mark Loretta had a single back in the first.
Now Loretta's single on the fastball. That time it was a changeup to Terrence Long that he picks up the double on. Pull that ball right down the right field line.
Ramon Hernandez lifts it to right field. Gabe Kapler. Couple of quick steps back, makes the catch, and heading for third is Long. Easily getting to third base. Kapler was camped underneath and had to backpedal a little bit. And Long getting to third on the fly out to right.
Good job there by Hernandez. The leadoff double, and that fly ball deep enough to right field to advance Long to third base with less than 2 outs in this very close ball game. The ball did seem to carry a little bit better than Kapler expected. Now, when you look at the breeze tonight, it seems to be blowing out toward the left field wall.
Robinson hit by a pitch first time up, and again Pedro back inside against him.
Almost hit again. That ball almost hit his right leg. Cut fastball.
This next pitch will be the 70th of the night for Pedro Martinez.
I know it's early in the game, but there's always the possibility of a squeeze play. Nothing ball game. Infield in, 1 out.
Softly grounded towards Bellhorn. Remaining at third is Long. Now 2 down. Not gone on contact as he remains at third base with now 2 away.
A lot of times when you're working toward the bottom of the batting order, they will leave on contact with 1 out. But had he gone that time, Bellhorn would have had an excellent chance to throw him out. It was directly at him, and he was playing right on the grass. This is a situation that a lot of times managers will let that guy at third go, but not here. And probably a good thing, because Bellhorn, I'm sure, would have thrown him out at home plate with a good throw.
Khalil Green, who walked in the third inning. The only walks surrendered by Pedro Martinez tonight through 4 2/3 innings. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Khalil Green, just 24 years of age, a first-round pick. 13th overall back in 2002. And for the majors very quickly. Last year, just his second professional season, he appeared in 20 games with the Padres. 2 down, Terrence Long at third base. Struck him out. Pedro Martinez with his 6th of the night concludes the top of the 5th. Long stranded at third. Halfway through this one, no score from Fenway.
Welcome to the House of Beer. We have 170 kinds of beer from all over the world. The beers are color-coded and separated by country, style, and color. Call me when you're ready.
I'm ready. All the Sam Adams. Yeah.
You can go around the world and not find a better beer than Samuel Adams. Always a good decision.
Applebee's new Car Side to Go is here.
Well, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, little darling.
With Car Side to Go, you can make dinner just by making a call.
Let's go again once more.
Plus, we'll deliver the food straight from our kitchen to your car.
Oh, pretty baby, I love you so.
So try Applebee's new Car Side to Go. It's not fast food, it's Applebee's food fast.
Eating good in the neighborhood. Let's go!
Introducing the Nissan Quest, a revolutionary minivan featuring 5 Skyview windows, front and side impact 5-star safety rating, an innovative center console, automated side and rear lift doors, and fold-away second and third row seats. Moms have changed. Shouldn't the minivan?
Grab some body wash from Old Spice.
When I walk through a jam, no one knows who I am. Put my love to the test, and I missed the success.
It has a dual-action formula, so you get really clean, smell really great.
Hey, Ben. Need help with your anatomy homework?
You!
Now in Mountain Rush scent. Spice things up.
A little extra zip on the fastball tonight from Pedro Martinez as he strikes out Green on the fastball. And again, that fastball registering about 93 miles an hour for Pedro. He's consistently been there tonight with that fastball.
More along the lines of the old Pedro so far here tonight. Getting the out when he certainly needed it. And getting out of that jam in the top half of this inning. On to the bottom half of the 5th. Kapler singling his first time up.
I think we need to try something, Donway. Red Sox here with no runs yet. Everybody in the cinemas, just switch seats with the people next to you. See if we can get a rally started. Just with your partner, just switch seats. See if we get some kind of Red Sox rally going.
There's mayhem now throughout all the cinema.
Yeah, just, and for those on the end, maybe you could just sit on the floor.
Yeah, what do you do if you're at the end?
Sit on the floor.
What if you went alone?
You can switch seats with whoever's sitting next to you. Whatever, just pick another seat. You already got Wells rattled. It's already 2-2. See that?
Eight in a row retired by David Wells. Gabe Kapler was the last Red Sox base runner. That was back in the 2nd inning. Here he is leading off the last half of the 5th. Wells had 58 pitches in his outing. That's after throwing 37 through the first 2 innings. He's only thrown 17 through the last 2 innings. To left and cranked foul.
Pretty impressive performance by David Wells, just coming off the disabled list tonight.
9th overall appearance of the year, 2-4 record, and a 3.78 earned run average. Lacerations on his wrist forced him to the DL. On the ground to Khalil Green at short. On to Nevin. Tough throw, but Nevin dug it out to retire Kapler. Let's find Eric Freed. Eric?
Well, Don, this is the start of interleague play, and you know what that means. It's almost time for pitchers to start to hit, and pitchers who probably aren't comfortable at the plate. Designated hitter here tonight as the number 9 hitter, Pokey Reese, comes to the plate. Makes us think what's going to happen when the Sox go to Colorado and to San Francisco. And the pitchers have to hit. They were in the cage today. Tim Wakefield went to the monster seats, as did Derek Lowe. Kurt Schilling looked pretty good wearing a couple of batting gloves. And Bronson Arroyo will get the first dibs when he goes against Colorado next Tuesday. Guys.
All right, Eric, thank you very much. Hot line drive off the bat of Pokey Reese. Snared by Sean Burrows at third.
Pokey Reese has been robbed twice tonight. Once by Giles in right field, and now Sean Burrows at third base takes a base hit away from him. He's playing right on that grass. Quick reactions by Burrows to take a base hit away from Reese. 2 balls hit hard, but he's got nothing to take to the bank.
2 down for Johnny Damon. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Now, can they switch back, or do you still want him in the seats there, Ray?
No, stay there. You can't give up with just 2 outs in the inning.
One and one now to Johnny Damon. He popped out to first base in the first. Grounded out to second in the second. Against David Wells, he's 0 for 2 tonight. Damon against left-handed pitching this year, hitting at .278. It's not bad for a left-handed hitter against left-handed pitching.
Very, very good done. Very respectable.
22 for 79 overall coming in.
Boy, Jay Payton in center field really playing shallow against Johnny Damon. And I like the way Robertson is playing in left. He's playing shallow also, which he should do here at Fenway Park.
Green to his left. On the first, another tough throw, but once again, Phil Nevin able to dig it out. 11 in a row retired by David Wells at the end of 5. We're scoreless from the Fens.
Who do you call when you need a car? 508-880-0000. Lincoln Mercury of Raynham.
At Lincoln Mercury of Raynham, choose from over 100 Grand Marquis and Sables from $15.9 or lease from $249 a month, or Lincoln and Mercury SUVs from only $299 a month.
508-880-0000. Lincoln Mercury of Raynham. 508-880-0000.
Warm seasoned beef, cheddar jack cheese, crispy tortilla strips, and Newman's own all-natural salsa. I'm gonna just not just have a salad. The new premium Fiesta salad from McDonald's.
Excuse me, are you happy with the choices in your 401ks?
When my only real choice was company stock?
I've had 5 jobs, so 5 401ks. Who knows?
I'm happy now. I rolled over my old 401ks to TD Waterhouse. Thanks, guys.
Choice lets you diversify. At TD Waterhouse, they offer CDs, stocks, bonds, and thousands of mutual funds, including 1,500 with no transaction fee. If you want more choice, choose TD Waterhouse, the alternative to higher-priced brokers like Merrill and Schwab.
The wonder of it all. Take a chance, make it happen. Pop the cork, finger snapping. Spin the wheel, round and round we go. Life is good, life is sweet. Grab yourself a front row seat. Let's meet and have a ball. Let's live. Yeah, let's live for the wonder of it all. Meet me at Foxwoods.
Open till midnight or later.
Top of the 6th inning back at Fenway. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy along with Eric Freed. Sean Burroughs leading off, the son of former Major Leaguer and 1974 American League MVP Jeff Burroughs. His dad played in 16 big league seasons with the Washington Senators, Rangers, Braves, Mariners, A's, and Blue Jays. His dad played from 1970 through 1985.
And how time flies, Don. I remember watching him pitch in the Little League World Series. Big kid at that time, a lot bigger than most of the other kids, and he just dominated.
A first-round pick, 9th overall in 1998. Resides in Long Beach, California. Strikes out this time. Strikeout number 7 for Pedro Martinez.
94 on that fastball from Pedro. Much better stuff tonight. Much better zip on the velocity. Better curveball. Better changeup. He's challenging these guys with 2 strikes with the fastball.
Does he appear to you to be more over the top tonight? Do you see any kind of difference delivery-wise from him?
Not really, Don.
Loretta bunting or trying to bunt his way on, fouls it off.
Because I'm not a trained eye as far as the pitches go, especially, pitching coaches would notice that, but just watching it, I mean, it may be a little bit more over the top, but it doesn't seem to be a noticeable difference. I asked Wallace what they had worked on in that throwing session in Kansas City, and he said it was just, as he was making his delivery, it's almost like he was landing too hard to try to soften that up.
To first, Mawire takes it alone for out number 2.
Well, the two-time defending AL champion Minnesota Twins pay their lone 2004 visit to Fenway Park for 3 games, June 22nd through the 24th. And it's not too late for you to be here. A limited number of tickets remain. You get yours today online at RedSox.com or by calling 877-RED-SOX-9.
You were waiting a very long time to read that.
3 innings.
3 innings. Well, I'm glad you got the opportunity to get that out. Brian Giles 0 for 2 tonight, striking out in the first, grounding out to second base in the 4th inning.
And we get backed up with stuff, you know, things go quickly. Sometimes promos sit there for 3 or 4 innings.
Pedro Martinez up to 83 pitches, 53 for strikes. Retired 5 San Diego Padres in a row. And has surrendered only 2 hits over 5 2/3 innings tonight. Strike 3 call. Strikeout number 8 for Pedro Martinez. Many of the Padres saying wow to Pedro Martinez.
Yeah, looking good. Keep working. Not under the boat now. You got it? You got it? Get in. Yeah. Bummer, it's just an 8-footer. Oh, well, throw it back. Yeah.
A bad day in Florida beats a good day almost anywhere else. Fly Southwest Airlines from Manchester or Providence to Florida for just $79 one way.
You're now free to move about the country.
Dreaming of a brand new Yamaha? Well, stop dreaming and start heading to Wheels of Freedom, your Yamaha dealer. Right now, you'll find special 3.9% financing for 24 months on every new Yamaha motorcycle, ATV, and scooter. You heard right. 3.9% financing for a full 2 years on every new Yamaha. Plus up to $200 cash back on select models. So visit Wheels of Freedom, your Yamaha dealer today, because a deal this good won't last long. Wheels of Freedom, the motorsports center of Rhode Island.
Quality items, great prices, and convenient locations. Extramart has all your bases covered. Stop by for a cup of our very own Brew Boy coffee or a double-sized Deli Joe sandwich. Heading for home or running on empty, Extramart introduces Extra Fuels, our own premium quality gasoline.
Extramart is now your headquarters for Castrol oil products. Castrol oil, winning performance. And check out Nesquik and easy-to-drink bottles for just 99 cents. Nesquik, milk made fun.
Extramart is always a home run.
This is it.
What is this?
Introducing the full-size 5.6-liter V8 Nissan Armada.
Where are we?
Share the adventure.
I don't have one. Well, the official Boston Red Sox 2004 pin collection is available now. To order your complete set, call 1-800-422-6216.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Mark Bellhorn leading it off against David Wells. He's retired 11 Red Sox in a row. Wells threw 37 pitches through the first 2 innings. He's thrown 29 over the last 3. On the ground to Burrows on first for out number 1. Red Sox tradition meets high definition. Tonight's game is brought to you by the HD experts at Tweeter. Tweeter, just sit back and enjoy. One down here in the 6th inning. 12 in a row retired by David Wells. And here's David Ortiz. Ortiz, who singled to right field back in the first inning. The Red Sox stranded 2 in the first, stranded 2 in the second inning. And the last time the Red Sox had a base runner was the second inning. Not going to see a lot of walks from David Wells. He's walked no one tonight, striking out 2. The strike call, and it's 0-2. Been an outstanding pitching matchup tonight between David Wells and Pedro Martinez. Scoreless here into the bottom of the 6th inning. Antonio Osuna up in the bullpen, the first action for either side.
Another former Yankee. David Wells last year with the Yankees. Osuna with the Yankees.
On the ground and out of the reach of Phil Nevin into right field. First base runner for the Red Sox since the second inning. Breaks up a string of 12 in a row retired by David Wells. Hit number 2 tonight for David Ortiz.
David Ortiz coming into the game 241 against left-handers, but 2 for 3 tonight. Fastball out over the plate. The dive by Nevin at first base. He can't get to it. Looks like Bochy coming out of that dugout for San Diego. Remember now, first start for Wells since coming off the disabled list. 72 pitches in this game.
He does not want to move here if this is indeed a call to take him out. 72 pitches tonight, 49 for strikes. And it looks like he may have talked Bruce Bochy into staying into this game. This game summary is brought to you by your local Lincoln Mercury dealers. David Wells with 2 strikeouts, both coming in the first inning with 2 on. Ramirez and Veritek both down by way of the K. And tonight, Pedro Martinez, 8 strikeouts. And an outstanding play by Pokey Reese. So good pitching, good defense on both sides. We're scoreless here into the bottom half of the 6th inning. Wells stays in the game. 1 out, 1 on. Manny standing in 0 for 2 tonight. A strikeout in the first, a ground out in the third. Outside, 1-1 now to Ramirez. The Red Sox had 2 on with 1 away in the first when he struck out Ramirez and Veritek back-to-back. They had 2 on with 1 away in the second. Able to get Pokey Reese to line out, Johnny Damon to ground out. The Red Sox had stranded 4 through the first 2 innings. Ramirez swinging and missing. 1-2.
First at bat when he got 2 strikes, David Wells went to the curveball to get the strikeout against Ramirez.
Their profile is brought to you by Sovereign Bank, the official bank of the Red Sox cable network. Frank Mussina, the leader in that category, with 16 wins. A 1-2 pitch to Ramirez. Up and away. Wells in his 9th appearance, a 2-4 record, 3.78 ERA coming in. And fresh off the DL for the Padres. Last time David Wells pitched was on May 16th against the Cubs, a game that he lost 4-2. Wanted that last one as the count runs full. Grounds it foul. In and out of the Red Sox dugout, back on down the line. Nevin continues to hold on David Ortiz at first, 1 out. Diving at second is Loretta to second for 1. No chance at first, but what a nice play turned in by San Diego's second baseman, Mark Loretta. They get the lead runner, and Ortiz 2 down.
Well, we've really seen some nice defensive plays in this game tonight, and it usually happens when pitchers are effective, pitching well. They get good plays behind them. The latest, Mark Loretta taking a base hit away from Manny and gets that force out at second base. And it's a good thing Manny was hustling down that line, or it would have been a double play. Seen a lot of good plays in the outfield and the infield. Very good pitching.
Pitch number 80 of the evening for David Wells. And it's a strike to Jason Varitek. The 80 pitches now, 54 for strikes. Second baseman Loretta has it get off his glove and into shallow center field. And reaching is Varitek up to second. Goes Manny Ramirez, 2 on, 2 outs.
Now there's one that Loretta dove for, and it looked like maybe he didn't have to do that. Maybe he could have just made the play and backhanded instead of diving. Goes into the dive, can't get the glove on it, gets out into center field. So the inning's still alive for the Red Sox. And out comes Bochy again, and this time that'll be it for Wells. Wells seems none too pleased. Looks like he wanted to finish this inning.
Didn't look too pleased the first time Bochy was out there. I was able to talk him out of taking him out, I think, at that point.
Asking him why. And I'm sure the answer is you just get off the disabled list. You got 81 pitches, but you know how David is. David wants to pitch.
So David Wells heading towards the dugout. Not wanting to, but he's going in that direction. New pitcher coming on for the Padres. Scoreless in the bottom of the 6th.
Miller Lite has 1/2 the carbs of Bud Light, 1/3 less carbs than Coors Light.
Miller, time.
I'm not done. And Miller Lite has fewer calories than both, while still tasting great.
Miller, time's up.
Furthermore...
Stop speaking, please.
No, you stop speaking. How come you won't let America hear the whole story? Whose pocket are you in?
That's unacceptable.
No, you're unacceptable. This whole thing is a travesty and a sham and a mockery. It's a Travis sham-mockery.
No making up words.
Burgle-flickle.
Choose great taste that's less filling. Miller, good call.
DVD navigation, keyless ignition, and laser-assisted cruise control. Are we getting ahead of ourselves? Or is everyone else standing still? The FX from Infinity.
Eating right never tasted so great. With Subway's delicious selection of carb-controlled creations. Now, introducing another new Atkins-friendly wrap. The Turkey and Ham Wrap. A tasty combination of sliced turkey and ham, savory Monterey cheddar cheese, and fresh veggies. All topped with creamy ranch dressing. Subway's Atkins-friendly options. It's what to eat when you want to eat fresh. Subway.
Fenway scoreless in the bottom of the 6th inning, and David Wells on the way off. The tip of the cap. Red Sox fans giving it to him behind the dugout, and Wells leaving. Antonio Osuna into the game.
Osuna making his 17th appearance for San Diego, a record of 1-0. I mentioned before last year with the New York Yankees. He's also been with the Dodgers and White Sox in his career. Opponents hitting .275 off Osuna.
30-year-old from Mexico. He was 2-5 with the Yankees last year in 48 appearances. Did he go? No, says Mike Fichter. Millard, each of his first 2 at-bats tonight, had swung at the first pitch. Flying out to center both in the 2nd and again in the 4th. And a little bit more patient here against Antonio Osuna this time up. Ramirez at 2nd, Varitek at 1st, 2 down. A strike, and it's 1-2. First year in the big leagues for Osuna was 1995, coming up in the Dodgers system. And parts of 7 seasons with the Dodgers, 2 at the White Sox, 1 with the Yankees. He's 240 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, and 0 for his last 14 in that category. Looking for a timely hit here with 2 down. Last half of the 6th, no score. To right field, Brian Giles back there to make the catch. For the final out of the 6th inning, the Red Sox stranding 2. We've played 6 from Fenway. No score.
Stay in and get...
At Adelphia, we're always working with you in mind. Our dedication to customer and employee relationships has always been job one. We're part of the community and working to bring you the very best service. That's why today and tomorrow, Adelphia will be your best option for uninterrupted service, great entertainment products, and customer support that's there when you need it. At Adelphia, we're always working with you in mind.
Hey, neighbor, need to borrow your rake again.
I've got something even better. 6 cents off every gallon of gasoline.
Really?
When you sign up for Irving Automatic Delivery Home Heat, you can enroll in their Favors for Neighbors program. Save 6 cents at the pump at Irving Mainway convenience stores. Just give them a call, 888-234-1844.
Thanks. That's some favor.
Hey, anything for a neighbor. Sign up for Favors for Neighbors today. Call 888-234-1844. Irving, making life warmer.
There's an industry that's been a part of Maine agriculture for over 100 years. What started as a day off for Maine farmers at the fair has turned into an industry that generates millions of dollars that stay right here in Maine. Harness racing has raised generations and employed thousands of Maine people. Whether you're at a racetrack or one of Maine's premier agricultural fairs, harness racing is fun and exciting to watch. Bring the family to a day at the races at Bangor Raceway or Scarborough Downs. Harness racing in Maine. It's fun to the finish.
Scorers, we go to the top of the 7th, and there's been some great defense in this game. We'll take a look at some of the fine defensive plays by the Red Sox. Johnny Damon going back to the fence in center field. Manny Ramirez on a line drive slicing away. Mark Bellhorn with a diving play at second base. An incredible range here shown by Pokey Reese to get an out at first base. Both sides tonight have played excellent defense behind their pitches.
86 pitches for Pedro Martinez through the first 6 innings, back out there for the 7th. He's retired 6 in a row. 8 strikeouts tonight for Pedro. And Phil Nevin getting ready for his 3rd at bat. He owns 2 of the 8 strikeouts for Pedro Martinez tonight. And looking in the 1st, swinging in the 4th.
Well, again, we want to say hello to the folks in Randolph, Worcester, Springfield, and Providence watching these games at the cinemas.
We kind of left them hanging a little bit, Jerry. There's still people, I think, sitting in the aisles.
Well, all right, 2 strikes. Everybody stand up again. Let's see if we can get another strikeout here for Pedro. Everybody up. Randolph, Worcester, Springfield, and Providence. It's not clapping.
On and away to Nevin, 1-2.
Let's go pick it up again. Start clapping.
Line to third. Euclid's there to snare it. Middle of the cap high. Nevin had been 0 for 3 against Pedro Martinez. As you see, a very nice sight right there. Lynn Jones, who had the very scary eye injury take place. So the Red Sox were on the road earlier this season. Has been away, and after many eye surgeries back here to visit the Red Sox and on the Red Sox bench tonight, and certainly a very welcome sight to see him back. Chance to chat with him before the game, and things are progressing as they continue to have many surgeries on that eye. For Lynn, just great to see him back here at Fenway Park.
That sure is. A lot of people happy to see him. I didn't get a chance to see him before the game in the clubhouse. But just to be back in uniform and sitting on the bench, limited activities certainly for Lynn Jones, but has to feel good about being back here at Fenway. Had a lot of people thinking about him.
Jay Payton 0 for 2 tonight, flying to the track in center field, grounding out to shortstop. Phil Nevin had been 0 for 3 against Pedro with 3 strikeouts, then struck out twice tonight. 0 for 5, 5 Ks. So that line out for the first out of this inning. 2-2 to Jay Payton. Right side. Melhorn calling. Backpedaling into short right for out number 2. Dunkin' Donuts is pleased to welcome those in the Dunkin' Dugout tonight. Dunkin' Donuts is in its 5th year of hosting local youth groups and charitable organizations in the Dunkin' Dugout. Over 7,000 children have had the opportunity to catch a Red Sox home game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. Eight in a row, retired by Pedro Martinez. Terrence Long hit a double his last time up, one of only 2 hits tonight for the Padres. Mark Loretta's first inning single, and Terrence Long's leadoff double in the 5th inning. Pedro's hit a batter, he's walked a batter. Popped up, foul off third. Euclid ranging over and reaching into the crowd to not make the catch.
Let's get over to the stands. He had to drift back a little bit right here. He reaches over but can't quite come up with the ball. Had to reach right over that guy with the green hat, right over his left shoulder. Got a pretty good headlock on that guy too.
We're up top that time, 1-2. Pitch number 99 of the night from Pedro Martinez with a count of 1-2 to Terrence Long. To center field. Johnny Damon's got it sized up. Gone are the Padres in the top of the 7th inning. 7th inning stretch time. Scoreless from Fenway.
I know it's summer when my dad's legs are white. Mom talks about waxing. I get buzz cut. I pick Mommy flowers. Buy butt sticks to the feet. I water the lawn and my little sister.
It's the surest sign of summer. Friendly's ice cream window is now open, ready to serve up all your favorite ice cream treats. Stop by today for our new Nuts Over Caramel ice cream. Delicious on cones and in sundaes, or get it to go in hand-packed pints. It's pure summertime at Friendly's.
Do you want me Do you really want me? I bet you think you can't afford...
This is a Dodge Ram with a Hemi. This is a Ford F-150 with its Triton V8. This is the real world. From a dead stop, F-150's Triton V8 creates unsurpassed low-end torque. Any questions? Only one truck has earned the right to be the 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. F-150 with up to $3,000 cash back or 0% financing plus a $1,000 upfit reimbursement on the #1 selling truck for 27 years.
Bottom of the 7th inning. Padres and Red Sox scoreless. This is the bottom third of the Red Sox order featured in the inning. Youkilis, Kapler, and Reese. Faced Antonio Osuna came on to get the final out of last inning. Youkilis lifts it out to right field where Brian Giles is. We're out number 1. Red Sox baseball on Nesson is brought to you by your New England Toyota dealers, by Pepsi, and by Volvo, the official vehicle of the Boston Red Sox. One away, Gabe Kapler, a 1 for 2 tonight. A single in the second, grounded out to shortstop in the 5th. Popped up foul, back comes Hernandez, but that will reach the screen. Beautiful night tonight from Fenway Park. Very warm conditions. Looks like we kind of bypassed spring, Jerry. Just went from winter to summer here in Boston.
It's amazing. We landed here on, Sunday night.
Kapler lifts it in the air to left. At the wall is Robinson, and that's going to scrape it on the way down. Robinson plays the care, but standing at second base with a one-out wall ball double is Gabe Kapler.
Kapler picks up his second hit of the night. Had one off David Wells back in the second, and this is a Fenway double here. A high fly ball that's going to scrape that wall on the way down. Not a bad job there by Kerry Robinson playing it off the wall, but the cinch double for Kapler.
We're going to have a pinch hitter for Reese. Looks like Daubach. And it is Brian Daubach. Rookie Reese had been 0 for 2, hitting the ball very hard tonight. It had nothing to show for it. A line out to right field for Pokey Reese. The ball scalded to third base, lining out to Sean Burrows. And his 2 at-bats, another fine defensive night tonight for Pokey Reese. The pitching coach headed out, Darren Balsley, to check with Osuna.
Yeah, we got off that plane on Sunday night. It was drizzly, it was cold and damp. Yesterday improved a little bit as the sun came out in the afternoon, but beautiful conditions today. I guess real warm again tomorrow. And then the weekend's supposed to be nice. So a good week of baseball here at Fenway.
Some of the players' reactions getting off the plane were pretty funny to come off that plane after the trip to Southern California to return here. And those conditions Sunday night were very, very chilly. A beautiful night tonight in this pitcher's duel between the Red Sox and the San Diego Padres. Nikanori Otsuka up in the bullpen. Thankfully, they have the pronunciation guide in the notes. It does not appear to be Otsuka.
No, the spelling you would think it would be Osuka.
Yeah.
But it's Otsuka.
Otsuka. Brian Daubach at 230, 2 homers, 8 runs batted in. To right field, Brian Giles ranging back. They'll make the catch. Kapler's tagging and headed for third. Getting there easily, standing. Now just 90 feet away with 2 down.
By the way, there are no left-handers in the bullpen for the Padres. All right-handed pitchers, of course, anchored by Trevor Hoffman, their closer. Only a couple of lefties on their staff, David Wells being one of them, and Sterling Hitchcock, who is currently on the disabled list.
Well, that'll be it for Osuna. The pitching change coming here with 2 down in the last half of the 7th inning. The Red Sox have a base runner at third base for the first time tonight. Kapler's there with 2 down. We'll come back and tell you about the new Padres pitcher, scoreless.
The all-new Dodge Durango is making it to the top of a lot of lists. It came in first in a car and driver full-size SUV comparison test. It received 5 stars, the highest government frontal crash test rating. And since it's roomier and more powerful than Explorer or Trailblazer, lots of American families are making Durango their first choice. See your Dodge dealer and put the all-new Durango at the top of your list, too. Qualified buyers who finance through Chrysler Financial get an additional $1,000 for a total combined cash allowance of $4,500 on Durango.
We can't reverse the curse. We can't rewind the week.
It's back, and it's very good!
Tune in Granite City Red Sox Rewind, a 30-minute Red Sox review, playing back a week's worth of player profiles and interviews, game highlights, locker room reaction, team news, notes, and more. After an exciting week in Red Sox Nation, unwind with Rewind, hosted by Eric Freed. Granite City Red Sox Rewind, Monday and Tuesday nights on Nesson. Can't catch your Sox in time? At midnight on game nights, tune in Red Sox in 2, an edited down 2-hour replay of the Sox game. So keep track of your Sox around the clock with Red Sox in 2. Catch up when you wake up each morning with Sports Desk. Tune in Nesson anytime from 5 to 9 a.m. for Nesson's 15-minute rotating sports update. Sports Desk on Nesson. Our sportscast on your schedule 7 days a week.
Back at Fenway, bottom of the 7th, no score. San Diego Red Sox. Each time the Red Sox win at Fenway Park, Hood donates $1,500 to the Hood Home Team Advantage charity program. The program benefits children's hospitals throughout New England. It's another reason you can feel good about Hood.
New pitcher on for San Diego, Akinori Otsuka.
Very impressive numbers. 34 strikeouts in 28 in the 3rd innings, holding opponents to a 144 batting average so far this season. Pitched 6 seasons in the Japanese League before joining the Padres.
"32 years old. Johnny Damon will be the first hitter that Otsuka faces. Comes on to a 2-out runner at third base situation. Kapler is that runner. Johnny Damon 0 for 3 tonight. He's popped out to first, grounded out to second, and grounded out to shortstop. Foul off the left side.
Very strange delivery by Otsuka. He takes the ball out of his glove and then taps it back in the glove and then makes the pitch. I understand, talking to some people, that those in the National League have complained that might be a balk.
Johnny Damon, first base is open.
Another look at that unusual delivery. The ball's out, then taps it in the glove again, and then here comes the pitch.
Line, a fair ball down the right field line. Kapler will jog home with the game's first run into second. With an RBI double goes Damon, and the Red Sox have struck first tonight.
Big 2-out base hit by Johnny Damon. He runs that count in his favor, gets a pitch that he can pull right down the first base line. Gets that fastball down and in, and Damon, an excellent low ball hitter, shoots it right past
Bill Nevin at first base. Now Mike Bellhorn. The Red Sox will be looking to obtain some insurance now. Great pitchers duel here tonight. The Red Sox able to grab the game's first run here in the last half of the 7th inning. The run is charged to Osuna. Worked an inning, giving up a hit. And the run is on the hook now. Osuna had allowed the one-out double by Gabe Kapler. And Kapler comes around to score. Bellhorn strikes out, and the 7th inning ends, but the Red Sox grab a run. The end of 7, Boston on top 1-0.
For the largest selection of gas and diesel motorhomes in New England, it's USRV. From Airstream, American Eagle, and Travel Supreme, it's USRV. From Monaco, Pace Arrow and Bounder, it's a Fleetwood product, and it's available at USRV. The largest selection of pre-owned motorhomes, it's at USRV. Quantity, quality, and price, it's USRV. My name is Marty, and we make better deals.
Hey, will you watch my salad? Sure. Long chicken. McDonald's? I'm loving it. I want to eat my salad.
Introducing the Nissan Quest, a revolutionary minivan featuring 5 Skyview windows, front and side impact 5-star safety rating, an innovative center console, automated side and rear lift doors, and fold-away second and third row seats. Moms have changed. Shouldn't the minivan?
Hi, I'm Shonda Schilling, a melanoma survivor.
And I'm Kurt Schilling. If you're a baseball fan, you probably know a lot about statistics. Here's one you may not know. 1 in 5 children will develop skin cancer.
A person's chance of developing melanoma is directly related to the sun exposure during the first 18 years of life. We want you to know how important it is to stay shaded between noon and 2. Apply sunscreen and wear a hat and sunglasses.
Please teach your kids about sun safety and make sure that you are sunwise also.
Just remember the Shade Foundation motto, limit the sun, not the fun.
Open till midnight or later.
Back at Fenway, Cesar Crespo takes over at shortstop for Pokey Reese as Daubach get hit for Reese. The last of the 7th inning, Ramon Hernandez leads it off here in the top of the 8th. That was pitch number 100 from Pedro Martinez. 65 of the 100 for strikes tonight. Ramon Hernandez has popped out to first and fly to right 0 for 2. As Pedro has given up only 2 hits all night. A single to Loretta in the first. A double by Terrence Long in the 5th. A hit batsman, a walk. 8 strikeouts for Martinez. Tired 9 in a row. Action in the Red Sox bullpen. For the first time tonight, Alan Embry is up. A strike. Hernandez thought he had ball 4, but gets the bad news from Jim Reynolds.
High strike here called by Reynolds above the belt, but certainly looked like it was in the zone. Certainly had the outside corner.
2 years ago at San Diego. As we compare the numbers between the two outings, very similar here tonight. On the ground towards Bellhorn. Pedro has retired 10 in a row. Let's check in with Eric Freed. Eric?
Time now for our fourth fan of the game, and we're hanging out here with Kevin Chapman, who's gone Hollywood on us. Now, Kevin, people don't necessarily recognize you when you're walking around, but why don't you tell people where they've seen you and in what movies? Mystic River?
Mystic River is probably the most recent. It's come out on video today. You'll see me in October opposite Joaquin Phoenix and John Travolta in Ladder 49 for Touchstone. And then in November opposite Dennis Quaid and Scarlett Johansson in Synergy for Universal.
Now, a local guy who is going Hollywood, but you're back here at Fenway. This is home. You try to get back here as much as you can.
There's no better place to be in June than Fenway.
You played a bad guy, kind of a tough guy in Mystic River, Val Savage. How did you, what did you call upon to help motivate you for that role?
Well, I think any kid that's grown up in the inner city of Boston that knows some Val Savage at some point in their life, and so you kind of draw from that experience and kind of just run with it.
He knows the right people, too. Ken Casey, our buddy from Dropkick Murphys here, hanging out in the monster seats, our fourth fan of the game. Don't go Hollywood on us.
I'll try not to.
Yeah, but be a star. We could take that.
Hopefully we'll see you in October.
All right, good. Thanks very much, and back to you, Don.
All right, Eric, thank you very much. Jerry Robinson, the hitter, fouls it off the left side. It's 2-2. Jerry, while we have a moment, we want to send along happy birthday wishes to Richard Mon. He's the father of one of the great Nesson accountants, Kathy Mon. 67 years of age tonight. Happy birthday to Ashley Paris. Her 23rd birthday. Great Red Sox fan. The 2-2. Robinson takes ball 3. ...111 pitches for Pedro Martinez. The season high is 115. 115 was against the Cleveland Indians in a 5-3 win. And the Red Sox against the Indians is a no decision individually for Pedro. Hopped up, foul off third towards the Padres dugout for Youkilis. 2 down.
Well, both hitters in this inning running the count to 3-2, but Pedro winning both battles. One by a ground ball out, this time the pop-up to Youkilis just in front of the San Diego dugout.
Khalil Green walked in the third, struck out in the fifth. Popped up foul. This should reach the seats. Pedro has retired 11 in a row and 16 of the last 17 batters. Emery looking on. Pedro will tie a season high in pitches with 115. And it's shot out towards right center field. Over comes Kepler to run it down. In order go the Padres. Pedro points to the sky after 115 pitches here tonight. He takes the 1-0 lead into the last of the 8th.
Small businesses may not expect the worst, but that doesn't stop them from preparing for it. On-site or online. SBC Yahoo DSL Business Edition. High-speed access that's more secure, thanks to antivirus and firewall protection. Just $29.95 a month for a year. Seeing small business differently. SBC.
Where can a Mercury Mountaineer take you? The sky's the limit. Announcing the Lincoln Mercury SUV Drive-Away. Get Mercury Mountaineer for a limited time with no charge power moonroof, no charge leather seating, and room for up to 7. Now drive Mercury Mountaineer for $279 a month with 2078 cash due at signing. The SUV drive away. Only at your New England Lincoln Mercury dealer.
When you care more about beer, Samuel Adams, always a good decision.
My competitors call my betting no name. Oh, really? Tell me, who's the president of Sealy or Simmons? My name is on the building. It's on the mattress, along with my ugly mug. Thank goodness you cover it with a sheet. So if you have a problem, who you gonna call? The no-name president of Sealy or Simmons, or the president of Bob's Discount Furniture? Me. Need a mattress? Want double the warranty? Pay half the price? Who you gonna call?
Well, what Red Sox Nation has been waiting for all season long has arrived here tonight for Pedro Martinez. 8 innings, 2 hits, no runs, a walk, 8 Ks, and 115 pitches. To the bottom of the 8th we go. And old friend Rod Beck on the mound for the Padres.
Quite a story, Rod Beck. 6th appearance. Spent some time earlier on the restricted list due to some personal problems. Last year was the pitcher of the year for the Padres and the National League Comeback Player of the Year. Don, I think that outing tonight by Pedro was the best he's had so far this season. He had one earlier against the Yankees that was close, but I think this overall, add in velocity in the fastball, the curveball, the changeup, location, I think this was his best. And you know, after his last start in Anaheim, that second and third situation, nobody out. And he got him out 1, 2, 3, not a run scored. Jason Veritek said after that game, that was Pedro. He said that might be the thing that turns him around. Well, he came out with a beauty tonight.
Ortiz lifts it in the air to center field. Jay Payton camped underneath. And a little dancer at the end, backpedal, but Payton gets the job done to retire Ortiz. Let's take a look at what's on tap for the Red Sox, brought to you by Heineken. 2 more games here with the Padres Wednesday and Thursday on NESN. The Dodgers will be in UPN 38 in Boston. NESN outside of Boston on Friday night. Fox National Saturday and Sunday night on ESPN. One away, and it brings up Manny Ramirez. Jerry, I think you brought up a very good point. Just seemed like from that point on that he's had that snarl of Pedro past.
Well, to me, Don, the big difference is, you know, there's a huge difference between 88 and 93, 94. And that's where Pedro was for a lot of this game. There are a few 80s early in the ball game, but for the most part, he had more velocity on that fastball thing. And that makes, to me, especially with him, a world of difference. It just makes all his other pitches better.
Well, he lifts it to center field. Payton has been busy out there in center tonight. And he handles the first 2 outs here in the last half of the 8th.
Rod Beck, one of the great guys to come along Red Sox way for a couple of years. What a nice story to see him come back, pitch as well as he did a year ago. Quite a character.
Certainly is. He missed the long flowing locks from Rod Beck, who has trimmed it up. Polk up in the bullpen. With 2 outs here in the last half of the 8th. Veritek batting for the first time from the left side tonight. It was 1 for 3 against the starter David Wells. With an infield hit in the 6th inning. Red Sox out hitting the Padres 8-2. To right, down towards the pole, and foul. One and 2 now to Veritek. Rod Beck, now 34 years of age, resides in Scottsdale, Arizona during the offseason. To right field, playing very deep was Giles, and that will fall well in front of him in right field. Second hit of the night for Jason Varitek. Now this game summary is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. Pitcher's duel tonight. Not a lot of offense, only one run tonight. Red Sox on top 1-0. David Ortiz with a couple of hits and Jason Varitek with a couple of hits. Kapler with 2. Of the 9 hits for Boston tonight, the only RBI belonging to Johnny Damon. It came with 2 outs last inning.
I'll tell you what, John, too, David Wells tonight, very impressive for a guy that's just coming off from the Sable list. He pitched great in this game.
Certainly did not want to come out when he did. He had thrown 81 pitches in his outing tonight. And it certainly felt like he had more in him as they checked with Mike Fichter. Millar did not offer. Wells went 5 2/3, 6 hits, no runs. He didn't walk anybody. He struck out 2. Antonio Osuna is on the hook, the right-handed reliever who came in after Wells. There goes the runner at first, the strike, and the throw down, not in time. Varitek with a straight steal, and there's 2 down here in the 8th and a runner in scoring position as the Red Sox try to obtain some insurance.
Varitek now has 4 steals on the season. The team leader is Johnny Damon with 5. Varitek is now tied with Pokey Reese with 4, and all of them have been the straight-out steal.
Ties a career high with Varitek. There's a check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. They ring him up. So Beck strikes out Millar to end the inning. The Red Sox strand Varitek. We're headed for the 9th. The Red Sox on top 1-0.
Grab some body wash from Old Spice.
When I walk through a jam, no one knows who I am. Put my love to the test, and I missed the success.
It has a dual action formula, so you get really clean, smell really great.
Hey, Ben. Need help with your anatomy homework?
You!
Now in Mountain Rush 6, spice things up.
After my divorce, I was faced with dating again, and I wondered if women would still find me attractive. I've been dating a whole lot now, and I've really noticed a difference. Girls pay a lot of attention to me.
Hello, I'm Dr. John Parker. Hair loss is an all too common problem, but finally there's good news.
The Parker solution to hair loss?
No. I just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance by switching to Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Michael is doing really well. Oh, wow.
Oh, look at that.
Dad, can we go to Friendly's now?
Sure, buddy.
Introducing Friendly's new Baja Chicken Sandwich and Baja Colossal Burger. Try one now and get a free sundae.
Dad, I want what you're having.
You and me and Friendly's.
Back at Fenway, a defensive change for the Red Sox. Millar comes out of the game. David McCarty takes over defensively at first base. And the Red Sox bring on the closer, Keith Foulke.
11 for 12 in save opportunities for Keith Foulke. Last time out was Sunday against Kansas City. Picked up the save in that game, working an inning. Overall opponents hitting 170 off Foulke. This is his 27th appearance for the Red Sox.
8 shutout innings tonight from Pedro Martinez. 115 pitches for Pedro. He allowed 2 hits over the 8 innings. He walked 1 and struck out 8. He hit a batter. Weaves with the Red Sox on top 1-0. Sean Burrows stands in. The Padres' third baseman at 0 for 3 showing tonight against Pedro Martinez. Told tonight that Nomar Garciaparra in 6 innings of play for the Pawtucket Red Sox was 0 for 3. Ground out 2 flyouts. And handled 1 assist at shortstop. To center field. Damon moving in. Johnny takes care of out number 1. The Red Sox baseball in Nesson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, by Honda, by Coors Light, by Bernie and Phil's Furniture, by Dunkin' Donuts, and by Sovereign Bank, the official bank of the Red Sox cable network. One down in the ninth for Mark Loretta. One of only 2 hits tonight off Pedro Martinez. Loretta with 1 out in the top of the first, single to left field. The only other hit, Terrence Long with a double in the 5th. Shallow center. Damon again. 2 down. Burrow's flying to center. Loretta flying to center both times. Damon up to the task. On 6 pitches, there's 2 down here in the ninth. Brian Giles standing in 0 for 3 tonight. A couple of strikeouts and a ground out. Giles leads the Padres in home runs with 9. Folks going to go to work on the shoelace of his right cleat. In search tonight of his 12th save of the year. To left field, Ramirez moves over and under. The Red Sox win it. On the gem by Pedro Martinez, the combination of Martinez and Polk. The shutout of the Padres. The Red Sox win it tonight 1-0. We'll step aside and come back with more from Fenway.
Bears, even at the last minute,
You are now free to move about the country.
Money on your mind? At Sovereign, we're here with red carpet service. Guaranteed.
Moms have changed. Shouldn't the minivan? Introducing the Nissan Quest.
Want to spend the day at Fenway Park in Nesson? Here's your chance with the Extramart Hitting for the Cycle Sweepstakes. Enter at Extramart, and you could win the Nesson All-Access Pass. On July 22nd, start with a tour of the park and the Nesson Studio. Watch batting practice, meet Don and Jerry, see the Sox battle the Orioles. And after the game, watch Nesson's post-game show live in studio. Enter at a convenient Extramart location for your chance to win.
Back at Fenway, the Red Sox win this one 1-0. Strong pitching by Pedro Martinez. The play of the game is brought to you by Foxwoods Resort and Casino, and we'll take a look at 3 of Pedro's 8 strikeouts on the night. Best performance, I think, by Pedro Martinez this season. Foxwoods Resort and Casino, the play of the game.
shutout of the year for the Red Sox as they win this one 1-0. Pedro Martinez the winner. The loss goes to Osuna. The save, his 12th for Folk. An impressive night tonight at Fenway Park for Martinez. Game took 2 hours and 27 minutes in front of 35,205. Jerry Remy, Don Orsillo saying so long from Fenway. It's time now for W.B. Mason's Extra Innings with Tom Caron. Tom?
Thanks very much. Along with Jim Rice, and I take it all back. I love interleague play. That's great stuff. What a great game.
Outstanding ball game.
What a great ball game. And great to see Pedro dealing like he did tonight.
Well, when you got a pitcher like Pedro, and of course you had Mr. Wells out there, we had some nice defensive plays, but Pedro was the type of guy that we was looking for to come out and do what he did tonight. 8 strikeouts.
He only gave up the 2 hits over 8 innings, 115 pitches. Plenty of numbers to crunch, and they're all good as the Red Sox win a tight shutout to open up interleague play. Jim and I will be talking about it. W.B. Mason's Extra Innings coming up next.
Hey, will you watch my salad? Sure. Lamb chicken. McDonald's? I'm loving it. What do you salad?
Welcome to the House of Beer. We have 170 kinds of beer from all over the world. The beers are color-coded and separated by country, style, and color. Call me when you're ready.
I'm ready. All of a Sam Adams. Yeah.
You can go around the world and not find a better beer than Samuel Adams. Always a good decision.
I was tired of dial-up. Just sitting here waiting for the internet to load. I couldn't stand it anymore. So I went online and signed up for SBC Yahoo DSL. It's super fast. And it's only $26.95 a month. This deal won't be around for long. So get on it fast.
Get lightning fast SBC Yahoo DSL for just $26.95 a month. Plus, for limited time, for every qualifying SBC service you add on, we'll give you your pick of 3 classic DVDs free of charge. SBC, going beyond the call.
Till midnight or later.
For the largest selection of gas and diesel motorhomes in New England, it's USRV.
This brand new 38-foot American Revolution diesel pusher, 350 turbo, slide outs, loaded, MSRP $220,000, USRV special $179.9. Only 2 available at 5.9 fixed and your good credit. Get it now before it's gone.
Quantity, quality, and price. It's USRV. My name is Marty, and we make better deals. Closed captioning for Boston Red Sox baseball has been brought to you by Aflac. Aflac, ask about it at work. Nothing win. A good defensive battle, good pitchers duel, just good game overall. Pedro Martinez, his 6th win of the year. And the Sox make it 3 straight wins as they welcome interleague play to town in impressive style. Tom Caron, Jim Rice with you. This is W.B. Mason's Extra Innings. I guess this is what you call a National League style game, right? 1-0, good pitching. Every run, the only one in the game was very important.
Good pitching, timely hitting for the Red Sox. And when you have 2 pitchers out there that throwing a lot of strikes and making pitches, you're going to have a fast game. And, of course, you had good defensive plays.
And Pedro Martinez made it all stand up. 8 innings of work. We'll break it all down for you. First, let's check in with Eric Freed, who's got the field covered for us.
A very fast-moving game, and it's a successful game for the Red Sox as they knock off the Padres 1-0. Terrific effort by Pedro Martinez, a terrific effort defensively behind Pedro, and Johnny Damon, big part of the win. You'll hear from Damon coming up in a few minutes.
And we'll hear from Terry Francona as well. In fact, as we wrap it all up for you, here's what's on the table for discussion. The Pedro of old at work against San Diego. Plenty of glove work. Both sides had the good defense going, and David Wells was good, just not quite as good as Pedro Martinez, who was very good on this night. 115 pitches, 8 strikeouts. He only gave up the 2 hits. We were all waiting to see if he would come back out in that 8th inning, and there was no reason not to. He still had good stuff going.
Had good stuff. He wanted to complete that 8th inning, but he didn't. And all of a sudden, he gets out of the ball game, and it turns around for the Red Sox.
Yeah, Keith Folk came in and took care of business in the 9th inning. Let's look at Pedro. Velocity was up a little bit again. It seems to be, slowly coming up. 94. They had him out on the field tonight on a couple of the strikeout pitches, but it looked like he had everything going tonight. The curve had a lot of movement. The changeup was baffling guys because of the difference in speeds.
He had everything going, and you couldn't set on one pitch. You was hoping that he'd make a mistake. And for me, if I was a hitter, I was hoping that he'd make a mistake on a breaking ball because he throws a fastball where he wants that. You're not going to hit it. But the breaking ball have a tendency of hanging a little bit. You got a better chance of hitting that breaking ball than that fastball.
Walked just 1 batter on the night, and obviously 8 innings of shutout work, no home runs. So it's interesting to hear what he'll say, and hopefully we will hear from him as the show goes on, because he was talking about the mechanics and the swelling and everything he had going on in the time off between starts. He had a side session, which he doesn't always do off a mound, but it all came together tonight.
Well, I really don't know anything about that, but, you talked about that. But for Pedro, he said something was wrong. To me, he knew something was wrong. He didn't feel comfortable, so he went and worked it out, maybe looking at some videos, talking to the pitching coach. And like you said, he doesn't really do a side, but he did a side, so maybe he found out something right there.
Meantime, the defense behind him was spectacular. Infield, outfield, everybody was throwing the glove around tonight.
Like your scrims can say, play deep and cut across. When you play deep and cut across, you got a chance to make those defensive plays, and that's what happened. We made some pretty good plays tonight behind Pedro.
Johnny Damon on his horse there in the 2nd. I'm up. Manny getting into it, 2 on, nobody on in the 3rd. Nobody out in the 3rd. Bellhorn a stabbing play here, and look at this one. You just don't get that ball.
Well, that's the kind of play that you and I used to make when we were younger.
Maybe in a PlayStation. Video game. But I mean, Pokey Reese, you just can't say enough of him. But there was the play last week when Euclid dove and missed it, and all of a sudden looked up, and there's Pokey behind him. This one was pretty much over the bag, right up the middle. There's maybe a couple of guys in baseball. Ozzie Smith used to make a play like that once in a while.
Well, this all started in spring training. This is my first time watching him in spring training, and I was looking at his glove. I mean, we call it sweet. I mean, he is sweet, soft hands, the whole works. The agility that he have to be able to throw the ball up and wrong foot just like Nomar and everything is. But his hands are so soft. Nomar will get to a lot of balls, but I think his hands are much softer than Nomar.
This was a scoreless game into the 7th inning, and we'll have an update on Nomar in a little bit. But the Red Sox able to push one across the board. Johnny Damon, a big 2-out RBI double. He's the offensive hero, the only guy to drive one in tonight after the game. He spoke with Eric Freed.
A terrific performance by Pedro Martinez tonight, and Johnny Damon drives in the only run. First of all, Pedro's performance, that's something that you guys have been waiting to see. It was a terrific effort, but you were out there to pick him up at the plate tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Pedro was definitely awesome tonight. I mean, that's the best I've seen all year. He was hitting his spots. Every pitch was working. I mean, the fans definitely got their money's worth tonight.
When you see Pedro with that kind of effort, you have a chance at the plate to do something about it. You don't want to let that opportunity go.
Absolutely not. I mean, we didn't hit too well tonight, but, we got one big hit, and that's all we needed. But we almost wasted that performance. We need to go out and score more runs for the pitchers, let them go out there and relax. But Pedro was on. I don't think any team would have scored off of him tonight.
You guys are very good defensively behind him tonight. You set the tone with your grab against Jay Payton in the 2nd inning. Pokey Reese, Mark Bellhorn followed you after that.
Yeah, we've been playing better defense lately, and I mean, we can't forget about Manny out there. Manny caught a big ball. There was a guy on 1st and 2nd, nobody out, ball down the left field line. Manny did a great job chasing after the ball, and it's special. These fans got the money's worth with Pedro on the mound, so I mean, I'm happy, and I know the rest of the team is.
Johnny, thanks very much.
All right, thank you.
It's a win for Johnny Damon and the Sox here against the Padres. Now back to you.
Thanks, Eric. We'll talk a little more about David Wells in a few moments, but interesting, this is the kind of night where the ball usually travels, and usually you get an offensive game, but you didn't get much offense tonight because the 2 starters pitched well.
Like we said, if you're making your pitches, regardless of who you are, you're not going to hit the ball. The pitchers are in control, but you try to make a mistake as far as the pitching-wise, then we got a chance to hit the ball at the ballpark, at least get a base hit. But tonight was just outstanding from both sides of the field.
Wells was good, as we said, not quite as good as Pedro Martinez. Pedro is our Subaru star of the game. Subaru driven by what's inside. Pedro Martinez taking the mound after some interesting side work, and he set the tone early as he had a guy on with one out. But how about Giles and Nevin looking at those third strikes?
But where the curveballs, when you got a good curveball, I mean, you come from the National League, all of a sudden you want to see fastballs. Pedro said, I've been to the National League, but I got a good curveball, so I'm going to show you I can throw the curveball for strikes.
And when he needed to, he kept them honest with 92 to 94 miles an hour.
That's what he did. And when you have a Pedro Martinez up there can throw his fastball, curveball, and his changeup anytime he wants to and get it over for a strike.
I know we talk a lot about velocity on the fastball, but it's important for the changeup because you got to have that separation. You got to have enough difference between the fastball and the changeup to really baffle him.
It all depends on how much he wants to take off. He's that good to know how much he wants to take off. But then again, he can always throw that backdoor curveball too. So it keep you on your toes a little bit.
They had them scratching their heads tonight. San Diego comes to town and gets shut out 1-0 by Pedro Martinez. Keith Folk wrapping it up in the ninth. We'll take a look at all of it when we come back with a 1-0 win to open up interleague play at Fenway.
Dunkin' Donuts is ready to hand you our cool cash certificates if we spot you drinking any of our delicious iced beverages. It's a chance you won't want to let go of. Get caught cold.
Nesson, the New England Sports Network. Olympia Sports presents the Boston Globe pregame report.
Feels like late August. It's actually early June. A scorcher today, but we've got baseball tonight. Interleague play continues at Fenway Park as the Jets go flying by, and we take you into the ballpark. The Padres come to town on Nomar's return, Game 2 between these two teams. A three-game series continuing. Welcome as Olympia Sports presents the Boston Globe pregame report. I'm Tom Karen. He's Bob Tewksbury. And a big night at Fenway Park. Nomar Garciaparra finally ready to play with a big club.
Finally, everyone was wondering when. Maybe it was going to be yesterday, and it is indeed today. Nomar had the rehab stint last night in Pawtucket and felt good, so he's back in the lineup tonight. And it's exciting for all the Red Sox fans to see number 5 going out on the ball field today.
Yeah, it's going to be a great moment when he comes out and gets that reaction from the crowd. We'll have it for you here. And we'll go one-on-one with Red Sox General Manager Theo Epstein. Nick Cafardo will join us here in studio for the Major League Baseball Notebook. And we will have live coverage of the presentation, the annual Red Sox Scholars Class of 2004. But Nomar Garciaparra ready to start play in 2004, at least big league play. His rehab is over. He says the Achilles is ready to go. Says he's not 100%, doesn't know when he'll be 100%, but at long last, he'll be part of the lineup tonight.
Well, it's one thing to play when you're 100%. I don't think players are 100% the first day after they get to spring training. But the thing is that what's most important when coming back from an injury is to know that you're not going to hurt yourself more by playing on it. And I think the test that Nomar went through in his rehab performances with the Paw Sox indicated that he can play on this. Maybe it's a little uncomfortable. Maybe it's not 100%, but is it going to get worse? No, and that's a good thing.
6 games with the Paw Sox. You see the numbers. He had 238, including 0 for 3 last night. Missed 57 games with the Red Sox. They're 34 and 23. Yes, welcome back, Cotter, playing in the background. Welcome back, Nomar, is the story tonight. And Nomar says it was really just a matter of making sure the Achilles could handle the increased pressure he put on himself as he moved up his rehab, and that he is ready to play the big league level tonight.
There's been improvement, and I expect to be improvement, hopefully every day as things progress. And that's just, when you talk about the tissue, you train it at different speeds, at different levels. We're trained all along. You can never simulate game speed or a game situation, and we did that. Then we got into some games, and obviously, this is another level as well. So it's time to get reacquainted with that game speed at this level. So hopefully the tissue just continues to get stronger and stronger. But it's also not going backwards, which indicates that I can go forward and play in some games.
The big question everyone's been asking day after day, when will Nomar be back? We have the answer to that. The other question everyone's been answering is, where will he bat? Who will play where? We have the answers for you. Nomar Garciaparra will bat 5th in the lineup tonight. It'll go Damon, Bellhorn, Ortiz, and Ramirez. So Bellhorn, not Pokey Reese playing at second base. Details on all of that, beginning with the batting order. Terry Francona says Nomar will move around in the order. That's not unusual. He has done that before. But the interesting thing Terry Francona is saying, Ortiz and Ramirez pretty much locked up in the 3 and 4 spots of that order. He likes the way those guys are there. So Nomar probably won't bat 3rd or 4th.
I happen to agree with that because I think that Nomar is probably a 5 or a 2 guy. I wouldn't mind seeing Nomar in the 2 spot. As an opposing pitcher, if you face Damon and then Nomar, speed at the top of the lineup. Nomar is a free swinger, certainly might take away from Johnny stealing, but the fact that you have speed on the bases at the upper part of the order may be good, and he's such a great hitter. And he can be in the 5 spot. You can give that guy right there, Manny Ramirez, some protection by hitting behind him, and now you have Veritek hitting behind Nomar. I mean, it solidifies the lineup, and there's options. I wouldn't necessarily want to move Ortiz or Manny at this point. To move 2 guys for 1 doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. I think the 5 spot's good right now.
Could certainly give him some instant RBI opportunities with Ortiz and Manny batting ahead of him. Meantime, we told you, Mark Bellhorn, the second baseman tonight, batting second. However, don't get locked into that concept either. First of all, they want Pokey Reese to have a day to practice, essentially, take some ground balls at second base. Hasn't started a game this season at second base, even though he has won how many gold gloves over at second base. This is him taking some BP today at second. So, you know, he will get his chance probably tomorrow to be the second baseman.
Well, the timing's so important. You know, Pokey's played all year at shortstop, filling in for Nomar all season long. He has played a lot of second base, and particularly with the Reds. He's a very good second baseman, but it's that timing issue. It's the ability to come into second, to turn a double play from another angle. The throws are different. The turn from second to first is different. There's a number of timing issues related to this. I think a day at second, practicing those issues is a good thing.
And you'll see rotation of the infielders. Again, Bellhorn at second, Youkilis at 3rd tonight. I think you'll see Bellhorn playing over at 3rd base some nights with Pokey Reese at second. And Nomar Garciaparra is not going to be able to play every night coming back from the injury.
Oh, Nomar's kind of on like a pitcher's pitch count. He's going to work his way up to maybe a complete game, and that might be a 140 pitches or so. So Nomar will indeed be out there, and they will take this just like it's a rehab start with a pitcher. They may not play. He may not play the full game tonight. Who knows? He has not done that yet. But he will definitely not be going 5 games in a row, I can tell you that. He'll build up his innings, and it's a long season. It's good to have him back, but he's going to start out slow.
Nomar, Bellhorn, Reese, and Youkilis, 4 infielders, essentially using them for 3 spots, and they'll rotate him around, I think, night to night. Meantime, the roster move that accompanies the activation of Nomar Garciaparra, a bit of a surprise. Brian Daubach is sent down to Pawtucket. They keep Andy Dominique, who starts at first base tonight. The idea being he can play first base like Daubach, but he's a catcher, so now they can use Doug Mirabelli a little more often.
Well, they always say in the minor leagues, if you're a fringe player, the more positions that you can play, you increase your chances of playing in the big leagues, particularly if you can be a 3rd-string catcher. Andy Dominique can play a very good first. He's a very good hitter, and he can be a very serviceable 3rd catcher. This is one of those situations. Dominique worked on those skills. It's paid off.
And you can see, I think, Mirabelli more often as a pinch hitter, as a DH from time to time. They've only done that once. Put him and Veritek in the lineup
against
together.
lefties. He's so good against lefties. He's got 3 home runs. He's hitting 400 against lefties. 3 of those hits or 3 home runs against them. So to get his bat again in that lineup certainly helps the offense.
Busy afternoon here at Fenway Park. A lot going on. Other roster move announced today. There are other guys on their way back and moving up their rehab. A lot to report, which is why we go out to our reporter, Eric Freed, with more on the return of Nomar Garciaparra.
And that is the big story, Tom. Thank you very much. As Nomar is back here after playing at McCoy Stadium last night, he met with the Red Sox this afternoon, and the decision was made, as you mentioned, for him to play here today. For all the talk about the Achilles tendon, for all the talk about the timetable and the time it took for him to return. Remember, he was expected to be ready by opening day. The fact of the matter is, today is opening day for Nomar Garciaparra, and he's thrilled to be back at Fenway.
I'll be excited. I'm always excited when I'm out there. You know, I'm excited, especially when, you know, being home here, you know, with the great fans and everything. So I'm going to be excited, you know, and it's like opening day for me, you know, when I'm excited on opening day, nervous, anxiety, everything goes through you. But great thing is I get to play baseball, so I get to go out there and play the game I love, and that's really all that matters. That, you know, when you have an injury, you just want to get back. You just want to go out there and be able to play the game you love.